because of the manual error.
How is throwing money after the death of a mother and a child enough?
Listen, that's what I was telling to my colleague from the Ganga media, that both together, mother and girl together, from BMRCL will give 20 lakh rupees as compensation.
How is MD whipping up technicalities in face of gross civic apathy?
We have to see that what is the additional precautions which is required to be taken, or the technology, the method of construction has to be changed so that this kind of incident does not happen in the future.
Would there be any deaths if there was timely action?
If you feel that my resignation is going to bring back that life, definitely I would like to resign.
The people are questioning here, sir. It's the people who are going on.
No, definitely. If any this kind of incident happens, everybody has to be questioned.
$11,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
Thousands of nurses have gone on strike at two of New York City's major hospitals. The walkout began on Monday after contract negotiations stalled over staffing and salaries nearly 3 years into the coronavirus pandemic. Nearly 3,500 nurses at Montefiore Medical Center in the Bronx and about 3,600 at Mount Sinai Hospital in Manhattan have gone on strike.
So the nurses at Mount Sinai have basically come together to say that we're tired of being exploited, we're tired of our patients being abused, and most of all, we're tired of seeing them not get the care they deserve. We came into nursing to take care of people because we care about them. We come from compassion. And it's very difficult to come into the hospital every single day and know that we're not able to give them the care that they truly deserve. These hospitals are showing that all they care about is profits, but we are no longer treating patients like transactional items. They are people and they deserve respect, and that's why we're out here striking. It's not about money, it's actually about saving lives.
The privately owned hospitals have postponed non-emergency surgeries, diverted ambulance to other medical centers, and assigned administrators with nursing backgrounds to work in wards in order to cope with the walkout.
We're working hard. We worked through the pandemic and we have short staffing. They brought in traveler nurses. It doesn't fill the gap. We still have a bunch of vacancies and we're overworked. So we really need, and it's hard on the patients because we need safe staffing for them. So we're fighting for staffing, reimbursements, health benefits. They're trying to take away some of their benefits, but we need safe staffing. We're tired. We're doing a great job. We're trying to get through a triple pandemic now. It doesn't stop.
Agency report for Republic TV.
The headlines from across the globe this morning. California on high alert as it braces for more turbulent weather. Thunderstorms, snow and damaging winds sweep through. Thousands of nurses stage protests at two of New York City's major hospitals over stalled contract negotiations. United Kingdom's first satellite mission takes off from Cornwall, marking first orbital space launch. And another mission seen flying around the Kherson region. Speaking about the latest from the Ukraine war, North America. Ukrainian helicopters participate in combat missions seen flying around.
The situation remains tense on the ground when we are talking about the Joshimath. I'm reporting from the ground, and there behind me you can see the numbers of people, the locals who have gathered over here. They are protesting and they are saying that they are not going to move from here until and unless the assurance has been given to them in written that what exactly is going to be the compensation for them, how the state authority, how the government is going to handle the situation. So reporting live on the story from the ground, the situation remains tense. Administration trying to control the situation. We are reporting from the ground. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Time for a short break.
the headlines from across the globe this morning. California on high alert as it braces for more turbulent weather. Thunderstorms, snow and damaging winds sweep through. Thousands of nurses staged protests at two of New York City's major hospitals over stalled contract negotiations. United Kingdom's first satellite mission takes off from Cornwall, marking first orbital space launch. And another mission seen flying around the Kherson region. Speaking about the latest from the Ukraine war, North America. Ukrainian helicopters participate in combat missions seen flying around the Kherson region. And North America summit kickstarts in Mexico. Biden and Trudeau arrive for ceremony. Arsenal defeats Oxford 3-0 to set up Man City showdown in FA Cup 4th round. Statements of two crew members of the Air India flight on which a man allegedly urinated on an elderly woman co-passenger to be recorded today. The two crew members were to join the probe yesterday but could not as they were outside Delhi. An incoming chartered flight from Moscow to Goa diverted to Gujarat.
Viewers, it's time for Superfast 50. I'm Shivangi Shukla. Let's get started. A big mishap took place in Bengaluru as a metro under construction pillar collapsed on the ring road. Questions are being raised as two people have lost their lives. According to the police, around 10:45 a.m., the metro pillar fell on the bike when the couple, along with their twin children, were traveling toward the areas.
This is an unfortunate incident. Yeah. Earlier also there have been incidents, but right now our immediate concern is that these kind of issues should not repeat. So right now we have spoken to the concerned authorities. They are visiting the spot, and we have also called experts to come here and tell us as to what exactly has happened, what was the reason for the collapse of this pillar, and what rectification measure has to be taken.
CCTV footage from the moment of collapse has been retrieved, where it is clearly seen how a metro pillar collapsed and hit a bike in which 4 people, a man, his wife and 2 kids, were traveling. Republic spoke to the eyewitness who confirmed that cementing was not done at the base of a pillar and a tragedy was waiting to happen.
We explained every officers, but no one has response and no one has supported us. We asking from past 1 week, but no one care. Now today two lives as a death. After that only 2 आदमी मरने के बाद अभी होश आ रहा है, तो उनको अभी वो करेंगे ये करेंगे. 2 जान जाने के बाद, 2 आदमी मरने के बाद अभी वो डिसीजन लेने का सोच रहे. अभी भी नो वन इज देयर स्पॉट में. 2 जान जाने के बाद भी अभी कोई भी जिनका रिप्रेजेंटेटिव कोई भी नहीं है.
The Republic confronted the BMRCL MD who was responsible for the incident. He shunned away the responsibility when he was asked if he would step down, due to which he gave the most bizarre response.
Sir, a 2-year-old has died. Will you take up moral responsibility? Will you resign from your post? This is also something which is being heard now. Will you resign, sir? This is something which is being echoed now.
If you feel that my resignation is going to bring back that life, definitely I would like to resign.
The people are questioning here, sir. It's the people who are going on.
No, definitely. If any this kind of incident happens, everybody has to be questioned.
Right.
Then only whatever is the further action has to be taken, it will be taken.
After BMRCL MD shunned away his responsibility, he served a notice to the contractors and the engineers. In the notice, he has requested that IISC to, in fact, investigate the matter and to provide a response for the same. The Karnataka Congress chief D.K. Shivakumar questioned the state government over the metro pillar collapse in Bengaluru. He further added that this was a result of 40% commission government.
This is the quality of 40% commission sarkar. When they give 40% commission, what quality they can give? There is no quality. This is a 40% commission. This is the root cause. This is the face of that commission.
Congress MLA Soumya Reddy on Tuesday demanded the resignation of Karnataka Chief Minister Bommai after an under-construction metro pillar collapsed in Bengaluru, claiming 2 lives.
First of all, it's very, very shocking that, a newly constructed pillar, which has fallen on a 30-year-old woman and her 2-year-old child. But I think this is a clear case of violation, negligence and corruption of this BJP government.
Karnataka Chief Minister Bommai said that the government would conduct an inquiry into the under-construction metro pillar collapse incident in Bengaluru, which claimed 2 lives. The Chief Minister also assured of providing compensation to the grieving family. Bollywood movie The Kashmir Files has been shortlisted for the prestigious Film Festival Oscars among 9 other Indian movies. While exclusively talking to Republic, Anupam Kher said that this is a big answer to those who called it a propaganda movie. The Azure Air international flight from Moscow took off for its destination Goa from Jamnagar Airport in Gujarat nearly 15 hours after it made an emergency landing at the airport in Dambolim following a bomb threat, which later turned out to be a hoax. A 4-year-old boy who fell into a 55-feet open borewell in Hapur has now been successfully rescued. Sources suggested that the kid was playing near the borewell when he fell inside. Family members and officials reached the spot as soon as news spread. According to the police officials, after 3 long hours of rescue operation, the child was finally brought out. Meanwhile, a medical examination of the minor is now underway. According to the PMO, PM Modi will inaugurate the 26th National Youth Festival in Karnataka on 12 January at around 4 p.m. The festival will witness the Youth Summit, which will witness the plenary discussions on 5 themes stemming from G20 and also the Y20 events. On the sidelines of the 17th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, President Draupadi Murmu met the President of the Republic of Suriname at Indore, Madhya Pradesh. According to the sources, President Draupadi Murmu held wide-ranging discussions with the President of Guyana and discussed enhancing cooperation in various sectors, including oil and gas, healthcare, training and capacity building. A joint team of Assam Rifles, State Police and Forest Department have destroyed 4 lakh opium poppy plants, which were planted in 4 hectares of forest land in Manipur, Noni district. The forces said that the Srikona Battalion of Headquarters 21 Sector Assam Rifles, under the aegis of Headquarter Inspector General Assam Rifles, destroyed large-scale cultivation of the poppy plants in Noni. After the administration in Assam's Lakhimpur began a massive eviction drive to clear around 500 hectares of forest land, the SP BM Rajkhova said that around 450 hectares of land would be freed from the encroachers. Now, the Superintendent of Police of Lakhimpur District, BM Rajkhova, said that the eviction drive is underway and going on peacefully. Amid extreme cold, the top experts claim the number of people are battling heart attacks and brain strokes related to problems during this year's winters. Experts further stated that the cases are worsening when people go out for walks during the early hours and for those who are already cardiac patients. Delhi Saket Court extended the judicial custody of accused Aftab Poonawalla for 14 days in the Shraddha murder case. He was produced today physically before the judge in the lockup on the court premises. The court also directed the jail authorities to provide warm clothes to Aftab. The district administration in Chhattisgarh's Narayanpur has now administered an oath to the villagers, leader and influential people to maintain peace and after a violence broke out in the district, according to Narayanpur Superintendent of Police Sadanand Kumar. Influential people and village leaders of 68 villages of the district were called at the auditorium of the district, where a peace talk meeting was organized and urged everyone to maintain peace and harmony in their villages. Now, the DGCA issued a show-cause notice to Chief Operation Officer of Go Air Airlines as to why enforcement action should not be taken against them for what happened after their regulatory obligations. This comes after a flight G8116 scheduled to depart from Bengaluru forgot to board around 50 passengers on January 9th, while the airline shifted 53 out of the 55 passengers to some other flight which was going to different locations. The other 2 passengers were refunded. DMK President Tamil Nadu CM MK Stalin requested his party MLAs not to pass any distasteful comments on Governor R.N. Ravi during the assembly session. According to sources at a meeting of MLAs in Chennai, Stalin asked the MLAs not to put up any posters against Governor R.N. Ravi. Tamil Nadu CM Stalin made such comments after DMK and its allies have accused Governor Ravi of propagating Hindutva ideology and have further demanded his resignation. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi visited the Golden Temple in Amritsar as the Bharat Jodo Yatra entered Punjab earlier today. The former Congress president resumed the Bharat Jodo Yatra in Haryana's Ambala amid dense fog and biting cold. Supreme Court posted for Feb 14th a hearing of the batch of petitions filed by rival factions Uddhav Thackeray and Chief Minister Eknath Shinde in relation to the Maharashtra political crisis. The 5-judge Constitution bench of Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Justices M.R. Shah, Krishna Murari, Hima Kohli and P.S. Narasimha confirmed the date. Massive protest took place in Gilgit-Baltistan against Pakistan government over tax hike. Protesters raised anti-Pakistan slogans and demanded government to listen to their demands. 13 days after protests by people of Gilgit-Baltistan, the Pakistan government agrees to the people's demands. Electricity line rent that was imposed on people has been suspended and no additional bill burden will be applied on them. Days after a Rajouri terror attack and ahead of the Republic Day, forces have been put on alert in Jammu. 11 Rashtriya Rifles of Indian Army along with Jammu and Kashmir Police is carrying out massive searches across the region. Home Minister Shah chaired a key meet with BJP leaders after the terror attack in Rajouri. Sources suggest that responsibility for security lapsed in Rajouri in issues of protesting Kashmiri Pandits. Reserve category employees were addressed during the meeting. Amid the issue of land subsidence in Joshimath, cracks are also seen on some houses in Bahuguna Nagar of Karnaprayag municipality. Rescue operation to begin soon. Delhi Deputy CM Manish Sisodia urged Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena to clear the appointment of the Delhi Electricity Regulatory Commission chairperson urgently. In his letter, the Deputy CM also urged LG not to send the file directly to officers as he has done in 3 cases last week, as that is against the Constitution and various judgments. A court here adjourned the hearing on the bail plea of an accused in the Kanjhawala hit-and-run case. Now, the bail plea of Ashutosh Bhardwaj, which was scheduled for hearing before the Metropolitan Magistrate Sania Dalal, was adjourned to Thursday as the judge was on leave. Statements of 2 crew members of the Air India flight on which a man allegedly urinated on an elderly woman co-passenger will be recorded today. The 2 crew members were to join the probe yesterday but could not as to they were outside Delhi. A delegation of the Lithuanian Parliament visited Taiwan's legislative members at Tuesday noon to show support to each other on their similar fates of small countries being threatened by powerful neighbors. Yushi Kun, Taiwan's legislative speaker, said that if Taiwan receives support from other nations, then it would accelerate China's democratization. China's Ambassador Xiao Qian has said to Australia that their response of many nations to China's growing COVID-19 outbreak were not proportionate or constructive. Xiao Qian in Canberra said that China had shifted its strategy late last year from preventing infections to preventing severe cases. He further said that while each country had a right to choose its own response measures, they should be science-based.
In the new year, I wish both China and Australia to prosper, to enjoy political stability, social harmony, economic prosperity. And I hope China and Australia will continue to rise above differences, to respect each other, to work together.
China suspended visas for South Koreans to come to the country for tourism or business in apparent retaliation for COVID-19 testing requirements on Chinese travelers. A brief notice posted online by the Chinese embassy in Seoul said that the ban would apply until South Korea lifted its measures on entrance by China to the country. South Korea's foreign ministry said that its quarantine measures for travelers arriving from China are based on scientific and objective grounds. The ministry's comment came after the Chinese government announced that it will suspend its short-term visa service for South Koreans in protest against Seoul's recent measures to tighten border controls on arrivals from China. A SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket lifted off Florida on Monday night. SpaceX said via Twitter that the rocket deployed satellites for the OneWeb high-speed internet constellation. According to sources, the rocket's first stage successfully returned back to Earth. Islam's annual Hajj pilgrimage in Saudi Arabia will return to the pre-pandemic levels this year after restrictions on the annual religious commemoration curtailed over the concerns about the coronavirus. Speaking at a conference on the Hajj in the Red Sea port city of Jeddah, Saudi Arabia announced the lifting of the restrictions, including the returning of the numbers of pilgrims to what they were before the coronavirus pandemic without any age restrictions. At least 13 people died in southeast Peru as protests seeking immediate elections resumed in neglected rural areas of the country, still loyal to ousted President Pedro Castillo. According to officials, it was the highest death toll since the unrest began in early December following Castillo's removal and arrest. Sources further asserted that among the 12 killed in Peru was a 17-year-old, while the 13th person died in a nearby city where protesters blocked the highway. US, Canadian and the Mexican foreign ministers signed a joint declaration on racial equality on the sidelines of North American leaders' talks in Mexico City. Declaration of the North American Alliance for Inclusion and Racial Equality aims at promoting social diversity, equity and inclusion in the three countries. Ahead of the North American Leaders Summit, protesters and groups opposed to a Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador administration held rallies in Mexico City. Moreover, the protesters gathered outside the US and Canadian embassies as López Obrador prepared to host the President Joe Biden and the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Brazilian authorities vow to protect democracy and punish thousands of supporters of ex-President Jair Bolsonaro, who stormed and trashed the nation's highest seats of power in chaos with striking similarities to Jan 6, 2021 insurrection at the US Capitol. According to sources, many protesters said they want the Brazilian army to restore the far-right Bolsonaro to power and oust the newly inaugurated leftist Luiz Lula da Silva. Viewers, it's time for some sports action. World Cup winner Hugo Lloris now retired from playing for France after a record 145 appearances. Lloris won the 2018 World Cup and was captain of the squad in FIFA World Cup in Qatar. After failing to make a breakthrough against Brazilian Oxford in the first half, Arsenal finally went ahead in the 63rd minute to win by 3-0 over Oxford FC in FA Cup. CJ McCollum scored 34 points and Jonas added 27 points as New Orleans beat Washington. New Orleans, which had lost 4 or 5, took the lead early in the second quarter, put the game away when it scored the first 15 points of the fourth quarter. Australian League club Melbourne Victory were handed a record fine and sanctions for a pitch invasion and attack on a player by a Victory supporters. Football Australia CEO described the mayhem as the worst witnessed in Australian football. Harrison Barnes scored a season-high 30 points and Sacramento hit a franchise record 233 pointers to gain a massive win over Orlando.
The Western Conference, but boy, it's tight.
Golden State Warriors superstar Steph Curry now set to return after 11-game injury layoff. Reigning Finals MVP has been listed as probable for tonight's match. Huge crowds filled the streets of Athens after the University of Georgia became the first team to repeat as college football playoff national champions. Georgia are the first repeat champs in major college football since Alabama went back-to-back a decade ago. England star Jofra Archer will play competitive cricket for the first time in nearly 18 months as he moved back to full fitness ahead of an exciting year for England. Fast bowler Archer will play 2 matches for MI Cape Town in South Africa, T20 Cricket League, and ahead of the Ashes series and the ODI World Cup. Alexander Bublik now has crashed out of the ATP 250 ASB Classic in Auckland, losing to Belgium's David Goffin. The Kazakh number 5 seed dropped his serve 6 times in the 74-minute first round match, and his poor recent run now stands at 5 straight defeats. And star Indian batter Virat Kohli slammed his 45th ODI century and overall his 73rd in international cricket on Tuesday. The batter accomplished the landmark during India's first ODI against Sri Lanka in Guwahati.
When Apathy crushed a 2.5-year-old, when negligence killed mother and son,
Anjum sir, a 2-year-old has died. Will you take up moral responsibility? Will you resign from your post?
If you feel that my resignation is going to bring back that life, definitely I would like to.
We don't preach journalism. We practice it. Republic is the news.
$11,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
Statement of 2 crew members of the Air India flight on which a man allegedly urinated on an elderly woman co-passenger to be recorded today. The 2 crew members were to join the probe yesterday but could not as they were outside Delhi. An incoming chartered flight from Moscow to Goa diverted to Gujarat's Jamnagar after Goa air traffic controller received a bomb threat. Second round of luggage checking went on earlier and nothing suspicious has been found yet. Authorities will be letting the flight leave for Goa by 10 a.m. Assam government holding yet another massive eviction drive in Lakhimpur in Assam. This time the eviction drive is being held at Pabho Reserve Forest in Lakhimpur, which has been under encroachment since long. Massive fire reported from Raja Utsav Community Hall in Patna. Several fire tenders along with police officials are at the spot to deal with the situation. "600 homes in the sinking town of Joshimath in Uttarakhand evacuated after a survey by satellites. Meanwhile, the matter is to be mentioned before the Chief Justice in the Supreme Court today. A team has been set up by the centre and will be going to Joshimath to survey the area. In the Shraddha Walkar murder case, accused Aftab Poonawalla to be produced in Saket Court today. In the last hearing, the judge had asked the accused Aftab Poonawalla to be produced in a court physically rather than via video conferencing. In the Delhi hit-and-run case, accused Ashutosh to be produced before Rohini Court, while all the others accused have been sent to custody as of now. Supreme Court to be hearing a batch of over 200 petitions challenging the constitutional validity of the Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. Supreme Court to take up the matter today. Days after Rajouri terror attack and ahead of Republic Day, forces put on alert in Jammu. 11 Rashtriya Rifles of Indian Army along with Jammu and Kashmir Police carrying out massive searches across the area. Home Minister Amit Shah chairs key meet with BJP leaders after terror attack in Rajouri. Sources suggest responsibility for security lapse in Rajouri and issues of protesting Kashmiri Pandits and reserve category employees addressed. And a quick look at other international news that we're tracking. Republican Kevin McCarthy sworn in as Speaker of the House following a historic election on the 15th ballot, overcoming a week of chaotic holdouts. The new members were finally able to take oath, and they had been waiting all week for the chamber to formally open the session to begin for
Pakistan has been using the people, the land of the Gilgit-Baltistan and the people of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir as a colony of themselves, and the peoples are being ill-treated. Now coming to the specific issues they are protesting upon, the two things. First is the Khalsa Sarkar tax that has been imposed on the people of Gilgit and Baltistan. This means that any barren land that is of the people of Gilgit-Baltistan, that will be automatically transferred to the government of the Gilgit-Baltistan, and there they can set up the security forces camp. We have seen the people coming out on the roads protesting against the rangers as well as the frontier corps that has come to establish their camp there. Second is that the taxes that the Pakistani government has imposed to come out of the debt that the government of Pakistan, the federal government and the provincial government has taken. They are imposing a lot many taxes on the people of Gilgit-Baltistan. Over 135 items that are of daily use have been imposed heavy taxes by the federal and the state, the provincial government, after which
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
And a quick look at other international news that we're tracking. Republican Kevin McCarthy sworn in as Speaker of the House following a historic election on the 15th ballot, overcoming a week of chaotic holdouts. The new members were finally able to take oath, and they had been waiting all week for the chamber to formally open the session to begin for 2023. President Joe Biden inspected a busy port of entry along the US-Mexico border on Sunday on his first trip to the region after 2 years, as Republicans remarked him for being soft on border security, while the number of migrants crossing spirals. In a sign of the deep political tensions over immigration, Republican Governor Greg handed Biden a letter that said the chaos at the border was the result of the president's failure to enforce federal laws. A rescue operation where 2 people were killed and 5 others were injured, including a 13-year-old girl, by a Russian rocket strike on Monday that hit in the northeastern Kharkiv region. The rescue is still underway as more are feared to be trapped under the rubble. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's first foreign policy speech in London outlines his government's foreign policy orientation, where he highlights the country's China policy. Sunak said that the fairy tale period of UK-China ties is now over, as China's pursuit of an aggressive foreign policy, threatening posture with neighbours, its reckless actions in Hong Kong and repression in Tibet and Xinjiang have crystallized Britain's threat perception. The The Taliban issued a decree banning Afghan women from working in NGOs. The decision comes after they suspended university education for women and secondary schooling for girls. Several international organizations have claimed that their regular operations have been disabled in the country due to the harsh impositions on women. Rolls-Royce reported a strong record for the year for sales, with more than 6,000 cars sold for the first time in its 118-year-old history. The UK luxury brand has said it had achieved an 8% rise in sales volumes during 2022 compared with the previous year, with all regions except China. Prince Harry revealed he wanted to write an autobiography, as it was a reclamation of his life story. He said the autobiography is a last resort, driven by the failure of the royal family to hear his concerns, in particular over alleged briefings to the tabloid press. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese visited flood-affected communities in Western Australia, describing the devastating impact where the flood has affected. He has said significant support for residents is needed, where food and other supplies are being flown to the communities cut off by flood waters and damaged roads. A Prague court on Monday acquitted former Prime Minister Andrej Babis of fraud charges on a $2 million case involving European Union subsidies.
Burning Question, presented by Samsonite.
Civic apathy crushes two to death in Bengaluru as an under construction metro pillar falls on the family of four.
If you feel that my resignation is going to bring back that life, definitely I would like to resign.
People are questioning.
To take accountability, BMRCL gives out the most brazen response. Eyewitness says they had warned the authorities. Were they waiting for the tragedy to happen? Go First forced to apologize to flyers after the flight leaves more than 50 passengers behind in Bengaluru. Joshimath residents stage protest demand fair compensation ahead of the demolition.
यदि दुनिया तक पहुंची और एक इतने बड़े प्लेटफॉर्म पे उनके बारे में बात होगी तो हम उनके जख्मों को तो हम भर नहीं सकते, लेकिन एटलीस्ट उनको गले लगा सकते हैं.
Sent back to lobby, Kashmir Files is on the shortlist of Oscars along with multiple other Indian films. Ladies and gentlemen, a metro pillar had collapsed, leading to the loss of lives. Questions were essentially asked about what's the role of the civic authorities, but there was absolutely no response. In fact, there was an attempt that was made by the authorities to brace it out. But when it comes to urban cities, we've essentially seen how most of the authorities do not care about the lives that are lost. The same happens in the case of Bengaluru. A few days ago, a similar sort of incident actually took place in the city of Chennai. No answers were given then. We've had multiple deaths taking place in the financial capital due to bad roads. When questions are asked to the authorities, there is no answer. The question that everyone is asking, when hard-earned money, taxpayers are giving everything that they can to the country, why is it that our authorities do not take the lives that have been lost seriously? Take a look at this report and then we debate.
को देखने के लिए क्या हो रहा है? सीएम होंगे, कोई भी होंगे, सीएम आना, सीएम आको क्या हुआ क्या नहीं, उन्होंने बोले मैं धारवाड़ में है, अभी आप बॉडी लेके जाते हैं नहीं, मुझे अभी सीएम आना, वो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर लाइसेंस कैंसिल करके मुझे देना, मैं लेके जाता हूँ। ओके, तब तक बॉडी नहीं लेके जाता हूँ मैं। आपका मांग क्या है? सरकार से आप क्या बोल? मुझे सरकार से क्या भी नहीं होना, पहले आदमी को बचाने होना, आदमी मर रहा, इनका पाँव में इतना लंबा लंबा पिलर डालने के लिए इनको कौन परमिशन दिया? आपका मांग क्या है? मांग क्या भी नहीं है मेरा क्या है, उन्होंने आना, टेंडर कैंसिल करना, वो स्टॉप करना, पहले स्टे करना, मेरा क्या बाद में मैं कोर्ट में करता हूँ, मैं कोर्ट में करता हूँ, क्या भी करेंगे? नहीं जाते अभी। सरकार ने 20 लाख रुपए बोला, वो क्या मैं देता हूँ 2 करोड़, मैं देता हूँ उसको 2 करोड़, उन्हें आंख में वो कैसा मरे वैसे ही मरेंगे, मैं 2 करोड़ देता हूँ, मैं कैसा भी देता हूँ, मेरा पास पैसे नहीं, कैसा भी करके देता हूँ उसको, 2 करोड़ देता हूँ, मरता नहीं, उसका जान देता, मैं उसका जान दे 2 करोड़ ले। आपका नाम सर? थैंक यू। मदन करको। सर बनी सर।
A young mother and a 2.5-year-old were crushed to death after a metro pillar fell on the two-wheeler.
And right now we are here at the accident spot, which has happened right in the middle of the ring road. And this is exactly the spot, this is exactly the metro pillar that we are looking at, because this part...
I was supposed to leave from there, but by the time within a fraction of a second this incident happened, I was not able to get a control also. So as soon as I saw back, my wife and my kid, they were fallen, and nothing was there in my hand.
Was traveling in bike, sir?
No.
So how was you traveling?
No.
आपने कैसे जा रहा था? 2-व्हीलर में जाता?
हाँ, 2-व्हीलर में, बाइक पे।
4 लोग?
4 लोग।
बाइक। ओके, अभी सरकार को क्या बोलने चाहते हैं सर इसके बारे में?
सर अभी क्या बोल सकते हैं, मेरा तो सब कुछ खत्म हो गया, बस आगे ऐसा ना हो, वो टेक केयर करे, बस दूसरों के लिए ऐसा ना हो, वो सभी सेफ्टी प्रिकॉशंस वो सभी ये करके करे, बस और क्या नहीं बोल सकते।
थैंक यू सर।
Wife were going to office. I was supposed to drop them to the concerned place, and I was supposed to leave from there. But by the time within a fraction of a second this incident happened, I was not able to get a control also. So as soon as I saw back, my wife and my kid, they were fallen, and nothing was there in my hand.
Was traveling in bike, sir?
No.
How was you traveling?
No.
You are traveling? आपने कैसे जा रहा था? 2-व्हीलर में जाता?
हाँ, 2-व्हीलर में, बाइक पे। 4 लोग बाइक।
ओके, अभी सरकार को क्या बोलने चाहते हैं सर इसके बारे में?
सर अभी क्या बोल सकते हैं, मेरा तो सब कुछ खत्म हो गया, बस आगे ऐसा ना हो, वो टेक केयर करे, बस दूसरों के लिए ऐसा ना हो, वो सभी सेफ्टी प्रिकॉशंस वो सभी ये करके करे, बस और क्या नहीं बोल सकते।
Joining us on the debate tonight are Smriti Harits, spokesperson of the BJP Karnataka, Abdul Razak Khan, political analyst, Syed Asad Abbas, political activist, and Mano Viraj Khosla, a fashion designer, joining us from Bengaluru. Opening up the debate are Smriti Harits and Syed Asad Abbas. Now the question that Smriti we have been asking to the authorities is that will they take accountability Will they take responsibility? And where exactly is the accountability for this? The fact of the matter is that multiple lives are lost, but we see the government of the day looks the other way when media starts asking them the questions. Let's not forget, the taxpayers expect that the government works for them and not for themselves.
Firstly, I would like to say that this is a heartbreaking incident, and I would like to offer my deepest apologies and condolences to the bereaved family. This is, very unexpected situation that we are in, and I mean, I would really offer my sincerest condolences to the family.
It's not unexpected, and I'll give you multiple reasons for it. Sweetie, I'm sorry to interrupt you. It's not that I would like to do it, but when you say it is unexpected, when you say it is unexpected, let me just remind you, because I wouldn't want our viewers to get that feeling that, look here, it was an act of God, or for that matter, that this was something that would have taken everyone by surprise.
I'm not saying that this is an
there
act
have been
of God,
warnings that have also been given. And the fact of the matter is that nothing has been done for it.
This is not an act of God, but neither is this, a willful act. It's an accident. And, the government is taking this up very seriously. We have already suspended the BMRCL, concerned persons. An FIR has been filed against them. A thorough inquiry has been ordered. And whoever is responsible for this, act of negligence will definitely be, punished, and they'll be put behind bars. At this moment, I think the government is taking this up very seriously, and we will ensure that no such further situations arise in Bangalore or anywhere in Karnataka.
Can I come in, Shawan, please?
Syed Abbas, do you think that's a good enough answer? That's a good enough answer. Absolutely, because at the end of the day, this is not the first time when we have seen such an incident taking place. And I want to broaden this. When we talk about civic apathy, it is not only restricted to the city of Bengaluru. We have seen similar sort of deaths, bizarre deaths that have actually taken place in other cities. For instance, in Mumbai also, I can list it out. But Syed Abbas, the fact of the matter is that, is it very difficult, or is it too much to ask from the government that it is time that they understand that they need to be accountable for it?
Absolutely. Shawan Saab, I cannot agree with you more on this. I've always believed with great power comes great accountability and responsibility too. Let me tell you, as a citizen of Bangalore, staying here all my life, my school, college, my livelihood, this is absolutely dreadful to me. What if it was me with my kid out there on the road? What if it happened to me or the respective people who are saying that this is just an accident? I'm sorry, ma'am, this is culpable homicide amounting to murder. There was no cementing done on this particular iron pillar. Would we say give out the same answers if it happened to our near and dear ones? Absolutely not. My simple question to those politicians in power, be it Congress or the BJP, why do you want to come into power or rally in elections when you cannot do your job properly? Let me tell you, this government in power or those PMRCL, all of them must resign on this. Value of a life is this: a mother is no more, a son is no more. Will we be okay if it happened to me? Absolutely not. These politicians who come into power need to know that this is absolutely not justifiable. Be it 20 lakh compensation or 2 crore compensation, this will not bring a life back. So therefore, and let me also tell you, Nagwara is a place where I frequently visit. Almost every other day I pass by this, and there have been several complaints from the Citizens Forum. Kindly finish the work at the earliest. Kindly finish the work at the earliest.
I want to
Congress
concentrate.
comes into power, does nothing about it. BJP in power does nothing about it. What happened? How many more lives must be lost?
No, it's not about only, it's not about one
job?
particular political party. That's not the problem, because, tonight, Syed Abbas, the reason why it may be the news point here, and that's the reason why we once again debating. But let's not forget, there are series of such incidents taking place in multiple cities. In fact, I can recount just about a few days ago, we've had a death of a young girl in the city of Chennai. And when leaders from the ruling party were asked a question by Republic with regards to whether at all there'll be any accountability, it was almost similar to the response that we got today from one of the authorities that we were playing out in a short while back. Let me also bring in Mr. Costa. As a citizen, as someone who's been in the city of Bengaluru, when you hear Smriti saying that, look here, we have taken action, we're very serious about it, and this is not a willful act. So whom do you really hold responsible? When you hear this kind of response really coming in, does it really satisfy you that, okay, look here, why should we really pin the blame on the authorities?
Well, I mean, who else are you going to blame? The blame is going to lie on the authorities. I mean, they're the ones who have to take responsibility. Heads need to roll. I mean, the fact is that the press is reporting all the time that there's corruption, rampant corruption in jobs given to contractors. Everybody is asking for a commission. Now, even if that guy has gone and given that commission, he has to cover that money somewhere. So if he's supposed to make $100 on something and he has to give $40 out of that to somebody else, in that $60, he's going to cut corners. Now, I don't know whether that was the case in this and whether that person used bad materials and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is that it's a deep-rooted problem. And someone needs to address that problem. But the fact of the matter is that nobody is actually doing it. So you can say, we're really sorry about this. I'm sure you're very sorry about it. Nobody really wanted this to happen. But the fact is that it could happen again. Who knows what the condition of all the other pillars are? Has anybody tested them? If one can fall, a second could fall. I mean, nobody knows.
You know, before I go to Abdul Razak Khan, I want to take this question to Smriti also. Smriti, your government faces very strong criticism. The opposition parties in the state of Karnataka are directly alleging that there is some sort of an understanding with the contractors. The fact of the matter is that there is huge corruption. 40%. There is commissions that are being taken. I'm not saying it. The opposition parties are saying this. They're clearly making that allegation that one of the reasons why we are looking at a situation like this is only because there isn't enough checks in place, and you are facing a direct allegation from the opposition party saying that the contractors are cutting corners simply because they have to keep up with that commission rate.
I don't want to get into this pointing of fingers, especially in this debate, when there's such a huge loss that has happened to a family and a huge loss that has happened to a city. But I have to point out that, as a spokesperson of the party, when Congress killed the Lokayukta, it was the BJP that reinstated it. So it's a reminder to the Congress that whatever allegations that they're doing against the, against the BJP regarding corruption or whatever it is, they have all the freedom to go and complain to the Lokayukta. If they have any proof, an iota of proof that there is corruption going on, let them take it to the Lokayukta. Let the Lokayukta decide.
There are contractors who have committed suicide who couldn't pay the commission.
You arrested them with agencies. You are flexing muscles.
Smriti, you've
heard. Okay,
Abdul Razak, I'll come back. Okay, Abdul Razak wants to come in. Abdul Razak, Smriti simply says that if you have a complaint, if you have the proof, why don't you knock at the doors of relevant authorities? Or for that matter, why not even move the court? If there is ample amount of proof against the BJP government that they have been working in cahoots with the contractors and the contractors have essentially been paying money to certain leaders, then why not move the court? Because at the end of the day, all of this is somewhere down the line interlinked. At the end of the day, if we are looking at contractors using substandard material, that's also because there is some corruption in place.
Definitely there is corruption, Shravan. Let me start by saying
Abdul Razak,
this government is drenched and drowned in corruption. They went against the mandate of people. They purchased MLAs and formed the government. Contractors ended their lives writing suicide notes that the minister charged 40%. From there it started. 13,000 schools association.
But the BJP says, Abdul Razak, BJP says that these complaints by the contractors were already withdrawn.
And even the suicide of the contractor that Mr. Abdul Razak
please allow me my opening statement.
The court gave a clean sheet.
Smriti, allow Abdul Razak can make his point. Smriti, I'll allow you to. I'll give you the opportunity to respond, but let Abdul Razak.
And it is unfortunate that
don't do this.
Smriti,
don't do this. I'm not allowed others to interrupt when you're making your comments. I don't want you to also interrupt when Abdul Razak is making his comment. Abdul Razak, the only intervention that I was trying to make is that only because I know this is the response that is going to come in. The BJP has taken the official position in the state of Karnataka that, look here, you're talking about complaints. The complaints have already been withdrawn. So I'm not once again saying I'm not investigating this matter, so I do not know. I'm simply going by what has been reported so far. And as I understand, the BJP has taken a position that these These are all mischievous complaints that have been made against them. I want you to also address that.
Shavan, first of all, these people have not held the BBMP elections from the past 2 years, the municipality election of Bengaluru city. The simple reason being that they will definitely fail because they have not done anything on infrastructure. You talk about the 40% contractor scam, police sub-inspector scam. For the first time in the history of Karnataka, teachers were teaching in the classes when they were arrested by police, or teacher recruitment scam. After that, the vote gate scam, voter ID scam. I mean, scam after scam, scam after scam. The BJP is drenched and drowned in corruption. Just about a week ago, the chief minister addresses a public meeting of BJP Karyakartas, and he makes an announcement that the metro phase 2 would be completed within 1 year. But the BMRCL officials come up and say that it would end in July 2025. I mean, this kind of pressure on contractors, despite taking money from them, they would have used some substandard material, which has led to this accident. I would not say negligence. It is daylight murder. This is not negligence. This is daylight murder. The president of the party very openly states that you are not supposed to question us on roti, kapda, matkan, bijli, sadak, pani. We are here for love jihad. We have to stop love jihad. You question them. You question them on development. They will talk about.
Is there an attempt? Okay. Okay.
Kesari.
Abdul Razak, we seem to be having some problem with your audio line.
Any citizen of the state. They will only play communal card.
I think so. Any citizen, especially in cities, urban cities, when life is actually a struggle. I agree, Abdul Razak. For anyone, it's not only about urban cities, but primarily why we are focusing in these urban cities is also because life in any of these urban cities is a huge struggle, and people are making their ends. It's difficult to make your ends meet. Syed Abbas, I want to come back to you. As a voice of the citizens in this city of Bengaluru, when you actually hear this kind of a political slugfest that goes on time and again, and every time we look at incidents like this, today we are talking about 2.5-year-old child lost his life. Why? You have a woman who's lost her life. You heard the husband speaking a short while back. Now, this is just going to figure in some sort of a data. We're going to forget at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, the question still remains that why is it that this never moves our authorities? They simply will come to any media show also saying that we are deeply saddened. But is that really enough? Deeply saddened?
Shawan Saab, mere lip service is not enough. This was happened to somebody who's a father or a mother. Let me tell you, Vihan's passing, who's a 2.5-year-old boy. I have a 2.5-year-old daughter, and I take her in my vehicle, two-wheeler, and I pass by Nagwara. Imagine the apathy of concerned parents, of toddlers. This is deeply saddening, but is it for the politicians? Absolutely no. I'm also in various dialogues with Citizens Forum of Bangalore, various activists. Time and again, they've raised this issue to address to the government in power, but it all forms on deaf ears. What is going to be? Now the announcement of compensation will come through, but will there be a compensation of life? Absolutely not. I think these politicians must understand their duty is to serve the people. Do not be glorified leaders, but be the best of a servant to the people who have elected you.
Smriti,
a 40% sarkar or so on and so forth will not be okay, because that 2.5-year-old son or daughter will not come back to life. To me, I am scared today, Shawan Saab. Let me tell you on the Republic Media Network to take my vehicle out and go anywhere near. This creates a fear psychosis in my head. I'm a father of a 2.5-year-old daughter, and I do not dare to take her anywhere near a pillar or a construction today. Let me tell you, this is very sorry state of affairs for people who are living in Bangalore. And everywhere there is a construction, be it the MG Road, be it near the Brigade Road, be it the Nagwara, be it the Outer Ring Road. How are we going to survive? What are we going to do? I think it is high time that the leash is formed for the government in power, the ruling dispensation, the BBMP, the
all political parties.
They need to understand that mere power glorification is not enough. You are there to serve the people of Karnataka, serve the people of
Absolutely.
Bangalore.
Smriti,
We do not care about anything less. We do not
Smriti.
want our lives to go. We do not want to die. We do not want to lose our children. This is absolutely
Smriti,
shocking.
you've heard
This
Abdul
is
Razak.
hurt.
Okay,
I'm
Syed, you
hurt
made your
today.
point. Syed, you've made your point. Let me get the response now coming in from Smriti. Smriti, Mr. Costa, I'll give you the opportunity to once again come in. Let me just get one quick response because I've had two more guests raising this concern. Smriti, you've heard almost everyone speaking in one voice when it comes to this entire matter. But I'm going to ask you this question once again. You have had one parliamentarian from your party saying that roads do not really matter. Then you've had bizarre comments really coming in from the authorities concerned, saying that will my resignation bring back anyone to life? I don't understand that unless there is some sort of a media pressure, unless people are asking you this question, why does it not come from within? That you've actually failed miserably for protecting the lives of your own citizens, people for whom you are serving. Let's not forget, you are serving the people of the city of Bengaluru and you're answerable to each and every person in the city of Bengaluru. Then I do not think just a mere condemnation is good enough, Smriti.
No, I hear you and I hear everybody on this panel. I hear every citizen when they are saying that this scares them. But I would like to remind you that before we are all politicians, we are also citizens of this beautiful city. And it hurts us that there are certain incidents like this happening in the city. And I'm sure, I'm very confident the government is going to take every action possible to ensure that whoever was responsible for this accident will be punished. A thorough inquiry will be conducted to understand why the pillar fell. And if it is the fault of any certain individual, if it is the fault of the contractor, if it is the fault of any particular individual concerned, they will be punished. But before that, let me remind you, we too are citizens, we too are pained by this incident. This loss does not leave us in apathy. This loss does indeed certainly pain us, and we
Mr. Khosla wants Smriti. I want to remind you.
The problem is
Smriti, I want to
that at the
remind
end
you.
they'll do something.
I want to remind you of the civic
someone's
apathy
head
in
will
your
roll,
city,
but is it
in the
necessarily
city
the
of
right
Bengaluru.
persons?
Mr. Khosla can also come into this. Mr. Khosla can also come into. What I'm going to do is, Mr. Khosla, is that I'm going to list out some of the concerns that the citizens of Bengaluru have time and again raised. What's the real story of Bengaluru? There is a death that takes place because of a metro pillar. There is a death of a person because of potholed roads. Let's not forget those horrific images of those poisonous lakes in the city of Bengaluru. That's the real story. That's the real story. The urban civic apathy that we are witnessing on a daily basis. And look at the kind of responses. Yes, Abdul Razak is not really wrong when netas essentially talk, okay, let's talk about love jihad because that is much more an important subject to talk about. But let's not forget that if the citizens today are paying their taxes, they are paying their taxes hoping that you're going to get clean water, you're going to get good roads, they're going to get people who are going to get their houses a roof under which they can stay. And Mr. Costa, I want you to take it forward. Just let our netas really know that it is high time that they talk about development.
See, I mean, okay, great. They did a great job with roads in the center of the city, and we've got white top roads, and they've got some nice tender shore roads under that. So but that's one thing. What happens to the rest of the city? There are potholes everywhere. The place is a mess. Metro has been under construction for years and years and years. Now, you can say that, yes, of course, we're expanding the metro, so therefore there is more work. But at the end of the day, you go into a place like Koramangala, which is in the heart of the city, a really prominent place, full of offices, full of residential, it's a full residential area as well, a very, very expensive upmarket area. The metro line over there has been under construction for like 6-7 years now, and it's just standstill. Now, tomorrow an accident will occur because something is just lying there unattended to, half built. Then something will happen. And then again, we'll hear the same thing that, oh, we're really sorry about it. I'm sure you're very sorry about it. We're all really sorry about it. But I mean, at the end of the day, why are these things not finished? Why is something started and then left halfway to the misery of everybody in the city? It creates traffic jams. It's unsafe. You have the lake problem, like you were just mentioning, whatever happened over here. What's it because? Why did those floods happen? It's encroachment. I mean, there's encroachment everywhere. Everybody knows what's going on. Everybody knows there's corruption in these sort of things. Now, you can say it's not our government, it was the previous governments, and the governments were. I'm not blaming you as one particular government. It's a deep-rooted problem which is spread across the entire place. Now, even with something like this, and as she was saying that, of someone, we will take action against person, but how? One person's head will roll? That's the end. Two people's heads will roll.
Every political party is responsible
when you actually
for it, because even
root of the problem, and the reason is that about 20 heads need to roll actually for something like this. And it goes really, pretty high up.
In fact, that question should be asked for all political parties. So, Smriti, you are not the only one who has to. You need to do the answering because you are in power right now. But there are several other questions that should also be asked to the other political parties. But I also want to ask. I want Abdul Razak. Abdul Razak wants to come in. Abdul Razak, make your point, and then I'll give the final word to Smriti.
It's great that we're all expressing concern for Bangalore.
Smriti, I'll just take one more comment from Abdul Razak, because what Mr. Khosla was also saying, that it's not just one political party, everyone is equally responsible for it. Let me also quickly take this question to Abdul Razak. Abdul Razak, why just one political party? Don't you think everyone is to be blamed for it?
Definitely, yes, every political party means the same, but then at least the BJP should show some sympathy. If a Praveen Nettaru is killed or if a Hindu Harsha is killed, BJP leaders queue up in a line, one after one, one after one. They were announcing compensation like auction. One said 3 lakhs, the other said 5 lakhs, the other said 10 lakhs. Today, 2 lives have lost. Where are these venom-spewing leaders? All these leaders, including the parliamentarians who spew so much venom, where are these people today? Why you cannot do your communal politics here? It is your fault. Where is the action-reaction chief minister? Why 10 lakhs for 2 lives when you gave 25 lakhs for Praveen Nettaru? Is this justice? Is this your politics?
Okay.
Why can't you come up?
Last word.
You promised.
Abdul Razak, I'm running short of time, so I just want one. Abdul Razak, sorry to interrupt you, but I'm running short of time, so I want a quick response coming in from Smriti, because there are multiple questions that have been raised from Syed Abbas to Mr. Costa. So I want Smriti, why don't you respond that when it comes to sympathy, it's not only about sympathy. I would rather say that there is a lot more that you, being in power, you can actually do.
Madam, where are the leaders? Where are the visits? Where is the venom
not the right word.
I did not interrupt you.
Where are the dialogues?
I did not interrupt you. Let me finish.
Okay,
Abdul Razak,
let Smriti respond. I'm running out of time.
But yes, the government will offer, a compensation to the family. But at the same time, we are also aware that money cannot bring back the lives of those who have been, whose lives have been lost in this tragic accident. At the same time, when we are speaking on the subject of Bangalore and its development story, I think over here we all need to introspect. Bangalore was not built for a population that it currently holds. Bangalore was not meant to grow.
Don't blame the population, madam. This was Garden City and this could have been, but you made this a garbage city.
I did not interrupt you. Please extend the same courtesy.
No, madam, what you are speaking is absolutely.
I just want I'm really running short of time. Smriti, quickly, 20 seconds more. I don't have much time. Already.
What I'm trying to say is that
20 seconds more. I don't have time, so please make your point.
Bangalore was not. We never anticipated Bangalore to grow this way. Nobody did. And be it a blessing or a curse. Today's situation is that Bangalore holds a population, holds a very large population, and yes, we will constitute a task force. There has been a task force that is looking seriously into the development of Bangalore. We will try to solve all these urban issues that
I'm running short of time. Smriti, I think that this is, the fact of the matter is that, when any urban city like this, I think so requires a good amount of planning. Let's not say that, we were not expecting it to grow in this manner. Then we are just fooling ourselves. But the fact of the matter, this was known to almost everyone. And that's the reason why you have satellite towns basically emerging. But the fact of the matter is that at the end of the day, someone needs to do the answering. And Smriti, I think so it's time that you will have to do it. But thank you very much for joining us, Smriti, Abdul Razak Khan, Syed Abbas and Mano Viraj Costa for joining us on the burning question. On the other side, my colleague Niranjan takes forward the debate.
Well, political apathy from Bengaluru to Joshimath, because for decades the signs have been on the wall, Shravan. So I think it's not just politicians in Karnataka or Bengaluru who have to answer tonight, but also in Joshimath. And that's the story. Cracks have developed in more than 700 temple or ropeway in Joshimath area. Cracks on pavements, cracks on streets, even houses. The key transit point for tourists travelling to Badrinath and Hemkund Sahib is sinking. Question is, who's to be blamed? Or did politicians deliberately look away for over 6 decades? Take a look at what is happening in Joshimath today.
A key transit point for tourists travelling to Badrinath and Hemkund Sahib is sinking.
Marked now. This has been marked that they need to vacate it. They will have to leave. They will have to go. They have been told specifically there is no other option but to leave now. I'm moving toward a shop and a residence which is totally under this which is about to fall down. We have been told, and he has been categorically told that he will have to move. Look at this mark. These kind of mark has been already put in air by the administration that these are the property which is affected now.
Located at a height of 6,000 feet in Chamoli district, Joshimath falls in high-risk seismic zone 5. More than 561 houses in different areas of the town have developed cracks. It's not just the houses, but even the lands have developed cracks.
The shop, the cracks could be clearly seen there on the wall, and what I've been told that it's going up now. It's not limited to here only, but the damage is like increasing. Damage is going ahead. That is something what we are seeing. We can see like the movement. If we talk about this particular building, then this is moving. Like you can see the crack. You can see the crack, the distance, the gap in between what is coming.
A temple collapsed, which has alarmed residents living under constant fear of a major disaster.
Situation is getting more problematic for the people of Joshimath. I'm reporting from a house in Joshimath, and half an hour back I've been told this building collapsed. There you can see this was a temple which was here, and it is down now. It has collapsed. So there you can see the condition, as we were showing you the condition earlier also, how the cracks could be clearly seen. Even I'm standing on this particular house where this particular temple was, and now you can see it has already collapsed.
With lives and livelihoods hit, residents of Joshimath have now come out on the streets.
Family is sitting over there. They are not ready to move from there. They are saying that they are not going to move. And these are the live images from the Joshimath Malarin Hotel. And there you can see the police is trying to control the situation, and they are asking everybody to vacate this place. But on the other hand, this could be clearly seen that there behind the police deployment, this is like the family who's sitting over there.
But the question is, who is actually responsible for sinking of Joshimath? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Well, that was a situational report, the situation in Joshimath this evening as we speak. That was our correspondent Anuj who's there. Let me introduce Neha Joshi, spokesperson of the BJP, Ayush Joshi, environmental technologist and a climate change researcher, joining us on the broadcast, Dr. Kalachand Sen, Director, Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology, and Lokesh Jindal of the Congress Party. Let me start with the expert, Dr. Kalachand. If you can tell our viewers, because we did some research on this, and it appears that the first report came out perhaps in the 60s, the 70s. There was a report in 1976, a report in 2006, a report in 2021. Now, these reports have been coming in, Dr. Kalachand, and these reports have been warning governments, politicians, etc. Have all governments, have all politicians somehow failed to act on these reports, in your view?
You see, the situation, what we have been observing today on Joshimath, this have been reported long back in 1976 in the Joshi report, and that Mishra report, and in that Mishra Commission report, Everything, whatever have been happening into this region was mentioned, that the city has been developed over loose debris material. Number one, it was said that no heavy construction should be allowed, no much activities should be allowed into this region. The region is seismically, tectonically very active because it falls in zone 5. Earthquake in 1999 in Chamoli, we have faced disaster, and this area also experienced last year 2022 February Ganga deluge. We also experienced heavy rainfall in 2021 into this region. There are so many nalas and rivers like Ganga, Alaknanda, and a lot of other nalas are flowing down the slope of the Joshimath town, and they have made the foundation rock vulnerable. In the sense, they have made the rock weathered, their sustainable capacity from the overlying load has been reduced, shear strength has been lost, and all these phenomena over the period of time, many decades, the heavy constructions, because Joshimath has got a place of importance from different point of view. One is that from pilgrimage, second is from the tourist, third is from the trekking, and we all know that people do different purposes into the Himalayan region, use Joshimath as the halting station. And in that course, in the downslope of the Joshimath, a lot of tourist lodge, lot of restaurants, hotels have come up without following the pattern of the drainage system into that region. Even some of the houses have been built near to the crack that have been developed over the road. Even in the side building also there have been some cracks. In spite of that, some buildings have been constructed with proper foundation. So all these are leading to this type of situation what we have been facing today, but it is not a phenomenon of today. This has been going on in this area since long, many decades.
Yeah, Dr. Kalachand, looking at what you've said, it's clear. I mean, it's clear that what should have been done was not done all these years, right? In 1976, a report warned against heavy constructions. In 2006, a report said Joshimath was sliding 1 centimeter every year. In 2021, a report said villages were vulnerable. And as far back in 1976, a report suggested restrictions on heavy construction work, agriculture on slopes, felling of trees, construction of pakka drainage to stop seepage of rainwater, proper sewage systems. Essentially, what I'm trying to tell you is, all of this was known, all of this was told, all of this was shared. Neha Joshi, but governments, back-to-back governments, not just your government, your government, the governments before yours have systematically failed to do anything. Even in 2021, there was a report, if I'm not wrong, it was your government even in 2021.
Thank you, Niranjanji, for having me. Good evening to all my fellow panelists. Now, you mentioned the Mishra Committee report of 1976. One categorical direction that the Mishra Committee report gives is that no construction above 2 stories should be allowed in the Joshimath area. However, we also have to understand that Joshimath is an important sort of point when it comes to the Char Dham Yatra. And a lot of this construction that we're talking about today is related to the economy of the region. If you look at, all the hotels that are owned, that have been constructed in Joshimath, they're all owned by locals, which is very different from, some of the other hill stations in Uttarakhand. So, the economy, the local economy was dependent on this, and hence, the governments, the local public, everybody sort of became complacent about it. And like you said, I'm not even going into whose government it was, 1976, then 2000, the Congress has gone on to the extent of blaming the hydropower projects, the railway line. The railway line is 100 kilometers from this site. The thermal power project was started in 2006 when it was the Congress government in the center in the state. I'm not even going to get in the politics of this, because I think the time that we're facing right now in Uttarakhand, we're facing a very tough time, and the government's priority right now is first, safe rehabilitation of all those affected. So the 678 families whose houses, have been impacted, the government is drawing out a detailed plan in how do you rehabilitate them in a phase-wise manner, and also drawing lessons from this. Niranjanji, this is not just about Joshimath. There are several other towns in the state that are, and including other states like Shimla is a classic example. These are all built on the debris of landslide, and the experts on the panel can correct me if I'm wrong. I think the Joshimath is a lesson in town planning, especially in the hill states. So I don't think we can look at this in isolation. Joshimath has given us a warning. I'm glad that the government has acted in time. We're trying to rehabilitate it. I would just request everyone, including my political, the opposition political parties, that let's get together and work on a solution to rehabilitate these people. We can fight about it till, till kingdom come. But what's important right now is it's cold. These are tough times. People are losing their houses. Let's find ways together to rehabilitate them.
Yeah. Can I get in Ayush Joshi now? Ayush Joshi, there are reports that some of these cracks are emerging, not just in Joshimath, in different parts of Uttarakhand now. What does your research suggest about how serious an issue this is?
Thank you, Niranjan. I'll tell you. So if you start from one corner of Uttarakhand, that's the Uttarkashi district, and you go all the way to Munsiari, the entire stretch and above it falls on moraine, paraglacial sediments, which is technically very unstable to build over it. Now, this is not, we are not just talking about Joshimath, we are talking about Karnaprayag, we are talking about Gopeshwar, we are talking about Uttarkashi town, we are talking about Srinagar town, we are talking about Nainital, we are talking about many other places that are developing similar cracks, including Mussoorie, including Rishikesh, some parts of Rishikesh. So, at the end of the day, I mean, this is not just new emerging, ideas that, Joshimath is one of the reasons where people started looking at and looking around their societies and in their communities, where they started to learn a little more about, so to understand if this is happening in Joshimath, this is happening almost every year. As Director Sir mentioned that this is highly creeping and the rate of creeping is going high. We are now using latest technologies to also understand how the creep rate is increasing, what is the velocity of creeps that are developing so far. We are using real-time kinematics, and we are using many other technologies to understand these movements. The subsidence is, Uttarakhand is prone to subsidence and is not recommended to have these kind of bigger disasters. The only option for Joshimath is rehabilitation at the moment. There is no single place. Around 458 small and big villages and towns in Uttarakhand are requesting and demanding rehabilitation.
Yeah, let me get in Lokesh Jindal. Lokesh Jindal, you're saying all of this, right? Which party did ND Tiwari belong to? Which party did Harish Rawat belong to? Not once, twice, right? Your party has also been in power there, but today your party is making a lot of statements in Uttarakhand. Your party is also answerable, Lokesh Jindal.
Look, Niranjan, when I'm talking about the Himalayan area, that is characterized by diastrophic movements. I mean, it is time and again susceptible to all forms of geological events that are happening. But the manner in which this present government has dealt with this particular issue is pathetic. The NDMA Act itself, 2005, it requires the government to take preventive measures, at least to take measures to mitigate the disaster. But what has the government offered? 4,000 rupees? 4,000 rupees to those who are losing their homes, who are losing their hotels, who are losing all their valuables. You are giving them 4,000 rupees.
No, I don't think they want money. I don't think they want money also.
No, it's not about money.
No, they don't want money. We spoke to some of them. They don't want money.
Statement made by the
as Joshimath, as the residents of Joshimath bear the cold right now, they are losing everything that they have. And all of these Congress netas are flocking to Joshimath, doing disaster tourism.
Now
That
you
is
want
what the
us to come
Congress
in?
is doing right now.
Aren't
I
you
don't
in
know which
power
part
right
of the
now?
country is
Aren't
Mr.
you in
Jindal
power right
sitting
now?
in.
Madam, please do not interject. Please do not
Mr. Jindal,
intervene.
I don't know
Have
which
some
part of the
shame.
country are you sitting in. I am
No,
from
no, no.
Uttarakhand.
Please
I'm in
tell me.
Uttarakhand and I'm
Didn't you
telling
offer
you
4,000
that
rupees?
stop doing
Didn't you offer
disaster
4,000
tourism.
rupees?
2013.
No, but I want to
when
ask you 1 minute.
Uttarakhand was hit by the
Okay,
PM
Neha Joshi and Lokesh Jindal, 1 minute, take a step back, take a step back. Just take a step back. Take a step back, 1 minute. Lokesh Jindal, 1 minute. Lokesh Jindal, first of all, I don't think the issue is about compensation today, okay? It's not. We spoke to the people there, they're extremely angry, upset. 1 minute, hear me out. They're angry, upset, helpless because they're being uprooted, they don't know what to do. Now, Neha made an argument a few minutes back saying that this area, the local residents there, their livelihood depends on the travel tourism industry. 1 minute. The tourism industry, 1 minute. Now, I'm sorry, just because their livelihoods depend on tourism doesn't mean you let rampant constructions, unregulated mostly, also to take place. Neha, I think political parties are answerable for this. You can't just say
it is very important that the government.
I'll make a brief point here, Niranjan.
Okay, Lokesh, give her 30 seconds. Lokesh, give her 30 seconds and then you make the last point. Give her 30 seconds, let her speak and then you make the last point.
Niranjan, in Uttarakhand, we constantly deal with this debate between development and how do you preserve the fragile ecosystem. It's a constant and ongoing debate that we face here. I'll give you an example. There is a Nandprayag Ghat road in Chamoli district. The residents of Nandprayag led a heated protest for several months where they demanded that the road should be widened. At that time, Praveen Singh Rawatji was the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. He faced a lot of flack because the resident wanted the road to be widened. There were protests. The national media covered it. When these roads are widened, then the media and the environmentalists come and say that this is a fragile ecosystem, but you have to understand that we have to strike a balance. Mr. Jindal, I don't know which part of the country you're from. You certainly don't understand Uttarakhand. Have you been on the Char Dham Yatra? Have you been to Joshimath? You don't understand the hardships that Uttarakhandis face each day. The Char Dham Yatra, 40 crores was what the people of Joshimath.
No, 1 minute. Let me tell you something. Okay, I have to end the debate only because I'm short of time. I have to end the debate. Neha and Lokesh, I have to end the debate. And I just want to tell all our panelists today, Dr. Kalachand Sen and even Ayush Joshi, I just got a breaking news update just now. This is a breaking news update that came in about 40 minutes ago. Okay, and this is the breaking news update. The National Crisis Management Committee in its meeting has decided to accord priority to demolition of all vulnerable structures in Joshimath in a safe manner. They've decided all vulnerable structures will be demolished. Now, just imagine it's the same government, the same administration, the same politicians, the same governments, both BJP and Congress, nobody else to blame. Both of you, your governments, your administration gave them the permission to construct. It is your government that is breaking down their homes while they sit there in the cold. The least that both of you can do is not do this political fight, but certainly be there with the people and rehabilitate them. Let's see where the story goes. We're reporting live from Joshimath. Dr. Kalachand Sen and Ayush, thank you for joining us. I've run out of time. Okay, Ayush, I'll give you 10 seconds. Ayush, 10 seconds.
Okay. So I just wanted to precisely tell you that, hydropower projects have been very bad. And since 2014, the expert body committee has recommended against it completely and enormously. So it's a no-go. I want to tell you that this is something which shouldn't be done and should be reconsidered. We are living in 21st century. And we have much sustainable technologies to deal with as of today. You can't go on, push up hydropower.
Okay, got it. Got your point. We'll take that up. We'll take that up another day. Okay, Dr. Kalachand Sen, thank you very much. Neha and Lokesh Jindal. It's a story that's developing, evolving. Taking a short break. The debate is coming up next. Stay tuned.
$11,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Thousands of nurses have gone on strike at two of New York City's major hospitals. The walkout began on Monday after contract negotiations stalled over staffing and salaries nearly 3 years into the coronavirus pandemic. Nearly 3,500 nurses at Montefiore Medical Center in the Bronx and about 3,600 at Mount Sinai Hospital in Manhattan have gone on strike.
So the nurses at Mount Sinai have basically come together to say that we're tired of being exploited, we're tired of our patients being abused, and most of all, we're tired of seeing them not get the care they deserve. We came into nursing to take care of people because we care about them. We come from compassion. And it's very difficult to come into the hospital every single day and know that we're not able to give them the care that they truly deserve. These hospitals have shown that all they care about is profits, but we are no longer treating patients like transactional items. They are people and they deserve respect, and that's why we're out here striking. It's not about money, it's actually about saving lives.
The privately owned hospitals have postponed non-emergency surgeries, diverted ambulance to other medical centers, and assigned administrators with nursing backgrounds to work in wards in order to cope with the walkout.
We're working hard. We worked through the pandemic and we have short staffing. They brought in traveler nurses. It doesn't fill the gap. We still have a bunch of vacancies and we're overworked. So we really need, and it's hard on the patients because we need safe staffing for them. So we're fighting for staffing, reimbursements, our health benefits. They're trying to take away some of their benefits, but we need safe staffing. We're tired. We're doing a great job. We're trying to get through a triple pandemic now. It doesn't stop.
Agency report for Republic TV.
The headlines from across the globe this morning. California on high alert as it braces for more turbulent weather. Thunderstorms, snow and damaging winds sweep through. Thousands of nurses stage protests at two of New York City's major hospitals over stalled contract negotiations. United Kingdom's first satellite mission takes off from Cornwall, marking first orbital space launch. And another mission seen flying around the Kherson region. Speaking about the latest from the Ukraine war, North America. Ukrainian helicopters participate in combat missions seen flying around the Kherson region.
Child crushed to death by Civic Apathy. Netas cannot take these deaths casually. Does life of the ordinary citizen not matter? Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
The relatives, the friends and family members, from the family members of the victim, they also saw that the ambulance has left towards Davangere. Now we are also going along with the relatives now, and it is being stated that Tejaswini's mortal remains are being taken to Davangere, and the relatives have also requested the media some privacy, and they have gone on to state that such incidents should not happen in the future, and this is a message out there. They have also gone on and stated that action will have to be taken against the contractors, against against the government as well, and also innocent lives were also lost too. So we are also seeing the victims. We are also seeing the victims' father right here too. So this is something which is this is something which is heart-wrenching as well. So all said and done, now finally that the victim's father is having a word with the police officials regarding the FIR as well, because it has already been filed at the police station, but they are yet to receive a hard copy. Over to you, back in the studios.
child crushed to death by Civic Apathy. Netas cannot take these deaths casually. Does life of the ordinary citizen not matter? Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
11,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
The headlines from across the globe this morning. California on high alert as it braces for more turbulent weather. Thunderstorms, snow and damaging winds sweep through. Thousands of nurses stage protests at two of New York City's major hospitals over stalled contract negotiations. United Kingdom's first satellite mission takes off from Cornwall, marking first orbital space launch. And another mission seen flying around the Kherson region. Speaking about the latest from the Ukraine war, North America. Ukrainian helicopters participate in combat missions seen flying around the Kherson region. And North America summit kickstarts in Mexico. Biden and Trudeau arrive for ceremony. Arsenal defeats Oxford 3-0 to set up Man City showdown in FA Cup 4th round. Statements of two crew members of the Air India flight on which a man allegedly urinated on an elderly woman co-passenger to be recorded today. The two crew members were to join the probe yesterday but could not as they were outside Delhi. An incoming chartered flight from Moscow to Goa diverted to Gujarat's Jamnagar after Goa air traffic controller received a bomb threat. Second round of luggage checking went on earlier and nothing suspicious has been found yet. Authorities will be letting the flight leave for Goa by 10 a.m. Assam government holding yet another massive eviction drive in Lakhimpur in Assam. This time the eviction drive is being held at Pabho Reserve Forest in Lakhimpur, which has been under encroachment since
From the Delhi studios of Republic TV, it's time for The Debate.
The Debate at 9, presented by Amity University, powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, Century Ply, MYK Laticrete Tile Adhesives, and Samsonite.
A very good evening. I'm Deepthi Sachdeva, filling in for Roundup. You're watching The Debate. Ladies and gentlemen, the netas of the country have put a price on your and my lives. We can die with potholes. We can also be drinking dirty, poisoned water that comes in from a lot of encroached lakes, or a killer pillar, like has been reported earlier today, where a young mother and a 2.5-year-old baby Vihan have lost their lives. And what are netas doing? Netas are busy talking about Tipu Sultan, about hijab, about love jihad, about conversion. But when it comes to civic issues, remember Bangalore reports the maximum number of deaths because of road accidents. But who's worried? They'll throw money at you the next time you, your family member, or any loved one meets with any accident. Is that price on our lives allowed? Will we not speak up? That's going to be a big Republic campaign, also the first debate that we are bringing to you. And the questions we ask: how many lives have to be lost? How many probes later? Do citizens' lives actually not matter? That's going to be our first big debate, followed by the other one. This is an ongoing face-off, the next chapter between the BJP and the TMC. This time, the face-off is about the Ganga Aarti. But who really is playing politics? We deep dive into that, and yes, we are not forgetting what's happening also in Pakistan. It is all chaos, CHAOS, total chaos in Pakistan. What really is happening? Before we get those debates to you, let's kick-start the show with the headlines on Top of 9. A young mother and a 2.5-year-old child are crushed to death by metro pillar in Bengaluru.
Will you resign, sir? This is something which is being echoed now.
If you feel that my resignation is going to bring back that life, definitely I would like to resign.
People are questioning.
But when asked hard questions, authorities are brazening this out and passing the buck. Is there absolutely no value for human lives?
सरकार से क्या भी नहीं होना, पहले आदमी को बचाने होना. आदमी मर रहा, इनका पाँव में इतना लंबा पिलर डालने के लिए इनको कौन परमिशन दिया?
There is anger across the country over the Bengaluru killer. Apathy India says citizens' lives matter and heads need to roll.
इस तरीके का आचरण पश्चिम बंगाल में हो रहा है, ये शर्मसार कर देने वाली आचरण है. सरकार पूरी तरीके से बायस्ड हो चुकी है.
In more news, the BJP is denied permission for Ganga Aarti in Kolkata. Major face-off as the BJP takes to streets to protest. Go First is forced to apologize after leaving more than 50 passengers stranded at the Bengaluru airport. Food riots, complete bankruptcy, situation in Pakistan spirals out of control. That's our debate at 10:30. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a young family. It's a young family with really young twins, baby twins, just 2.5 years old. Tejaswini, along with her husband, and these two twins are just happily cruising through one of the busy streets in Bengaluru. Then just in a flash of a second, their lives completely change. Their lives are devastated. Tejaswini and Vihan, all of 2.5 years old, is crushed by apathy. They are no more today. Just one of the twin remains today. That is the family picture. And all this after a metro pillar actually comes crashing down. Now, for the last few days, Republic has been speaking to a lot of eyewitnesses who say that they had seen a very precarious looking pillar that was shaking. They warned authorities. They said it could come down any moment. But no one cared. And because no one cared, what is the result? Tejaswini and Vihan are no more. And now what are netas doing? No accountability, no responsibility. Instead, they are throwing money at this family. Just for a moment think, if you and I do not raise our voice today, if we do not tell the ruling BJP government in the state of Karnataka to wake up, it can be absolutely anyone tomorrow. Let's bring out the entire story, and then we are debating whether your and my lives even matter.
ಯಾರಿಗೆ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಯಾರಿಗೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಈಗ ನಾನು, ಯಾರಿಗೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ಲಿ ನಾನು? ಅಯ್ಯೋ.
A 25-year-old Tejaswi and her 2-year-old son, Vihan, crushed to death by a metro pillar. Why? Because a family, a father, a mother, and 2 little twin toddlers decided to ride a bike in Bengaluru's Nagwara area in Karnataka.
Fortunately, both the remaining 2 survivors are safe. Husband Lohit and baby Vismita, both are safe. Right now, Lohit, who is husband of the victim, has already been drafting the complaint. So there is no need for us to register suo motu complaint because the complaint is being drafted.
It's a tale of complete and total apathy.
एग्जैक्टली सुबह में 10 बजे 5 मिनट पर एग्जैक्टली एक 2-व्हीलर आ रहा था। 5 दिन पहले से इनको बोल रहे थे हम पिलर गिर रहा है बोल के, उसका कोई रेस्पॉन्स नहीं था। 2-व्हीलर में एक फैमिली आ रहे थे, एक वाइफ, हस्बैंड और एक बेबी के साथ आ रहे थे। वो बच्चा और वाइफ इधर पिलर गिरने की वजह से ऑन स्पॉट डेथ हो गए। इधर का माहौल देखने के बाद ये गवर्नमेंट को सिर्फ प्रॉफिट चाहिए और उनके फैमिलीज का सेफ्टी देखते हैं। पब्लिक का जान गया भी तो कोई फर्क नहीं गिरता है, पब्लिक का वैल्यू ही नहीं है।
The family is distraught.
I was not able to get a control also. So as soon as I saw back, my wife and my kid, they were fallen and nothing was there in my hand. मेरा तो सब कुछ खत्म हो गया, बस आगे ऐसा ना हो वो टेक केयर करे।
वो छोटी सी जान थी, वो हमारा दिल का कलेजा था, उसकी मौत हो गई। इस मौत को कौन भरपाई कर सकता है? क्या सरकार? कौन भर सकता है? कोई बेईमान भी नहीं कर सकता। लेकिन हम इसको कानून तरीके से इसका निपटाएंगे हम।
But the chief minister thinks it's a matter you can pay a compensation and close.
ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಸುದ್ದಿ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಅದು ವಿಚಾರಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಯಾಕೆ ಬಿತ್ತು ಏನು ಬಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಆ ಕಾರಣನೂ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊತೀವಿ ಮತ್ತು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ। ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾದಂಥ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮತ್ತೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ। ನನಗಿನ್ನೂ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ।
The managing director of Bangalore Metro Rail Corporation Limited doesn't see a reason for the anger in citizens.
Sir, a 2-year-old has died. Will you take up moral responsibility? Will you resign from your post? This is also something which is being heard now. Will you resign, sir? This is something which is being echoed now.
If you feel that my resignation is going to bring back that life, definitely I would like to resign.
The people are questioning here, sir. It's the people who are going on.
No, definitely. If any this kind of incident happens, everybody has to be questioned.
Right.
Then only whatever is the further action has to be taken, it will be taken.
Fact is, for politicians, these are irrelevant issues.
ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ನೀವು ರಸ್ತೆ ಮೋರಿ ಚರಂಡಿ ಸಣ್ಣ ವಿಷಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಡಿ. ವೇದವ್ಯಾಸ ಹೋದಾಗ ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನಳಿನ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ನಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ, ನಳಿನ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ನಕ್ಕು ನಿಮಗೇನು ಬಂಗಾರ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಬದುಕಿನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಲವ್ ಜಿಹಾದಿಯನ್ನು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಜನತಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಬೇಕು. ಲವ್ ಜಿಹಾದಿಯನ್ನು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಬೇಕು ಭಾರತೀಯ ಜನತಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ.
But the nation will not let this go. Elections or not, citizens matter. Let's debate.
And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, netas already have a price tag to your and my lives. 20 lakhs. 20 lakhs is the compensation that has been offered to the family that today is devastated. Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP. Tanveer Ahmed is the national spokesperson for the JDS. Amit Shah is the leader of the Congress party. Along with Brinda Adike, Vivek Dikshit, Indrajit Lankesh and R.K. Mishra, I say good evening to all of you. We are obviously not talking at a very happy occasion, but who's surprised? No one's surprised with the apathy, Brinda. Absolutely no one is surprised with the fact that no one today is accountable, R.K. Mishra, Indrajit. But I still want to take our first question and see if Sanju Verma of the BJP is able to tell us 20 lakhs. Sanju Verma? that is the value today of Tejaswini and baby Vihan's life?
Deepthi, as you rightly said at the outset, it's a solemn occasion, and I think no words can be enough in terms of the condolences that I, along with many others, wish to pay to Tejaswini's family. And I am not going to shove things under the carpet. Of course, I am the national spokesperson of the BJP, but I'm a righteous citizen as well. And I have been watching your channel throughout the day, and I think some heads need to roll. BJP has always stood for transparency and accountability without trying to obfuscate facts. And I'm sure that the Chief Minister, Mr. Basavaraj Bommai, who has ordered an inquiry, things won't just stop at an inquiry. I'm sure, the BMRCL, which is the body which has been monitoring the operational work with respect to the Namma Metro, they will certainly ask questions of Nagarjuna Construction, because I heard on your channel as well, the head of BMRCL, Mr. Anjum Parvez, saying that Nagarjuna Construction has been sent a show cause notice as to whether there was a manual error or a technical error, because don't forget there are 4 levels of quality checks: safety audit, a financial audit, a technical audit, so where exactly was the lapse?
Sanju Verma, I hate to come in here, because see, this is not a fora where you can sit and make a speech. I'm not concerned about what should have happened, but the point is it clearly hasn't happened. This is the reason why today we have lost Tejaswini, we've lost baby Vihan. Now Basavaraj Bommai has no time to meet with the family. He clearly has no time to, even go and speak to them. Has he spoken to the family in question, Sanju? Or he thinks it's not required? He's tweeted about a lot of other things. In fact, I was looking at his Twitter timeline. He's tweeted on the National Youth Festival. Has he tweeted or said anything about civic apathy, Brinda? Is that going to be allowed? Is that going to be allowed?
One moment. When reporters were asking him about it,
compensation. He says we've given a compensation, Sanju Verma.
Okay, before Brinda comes in.
So there will be probes, there will be inquiries, Sanju Verma. How many more people need to die, Sanju? How many probes need to happen before the BJP government in the state of Karnataka wakes up?
Deepthi, you've asked me a question. This is a very sensitive issue, and you are right. We don't want to politicize it. And I'm not saying don't politicize it simply because the BJP is in the dock. I would have said that otherwise as well. I think citizens need to demand accountability, and the government of the day needs to deliver. And I'm sure that Basavaraj Bommai is not going to stop at an inquiry. As I said, FIR under sections 337, 338 and 304 of the IPC have also been registered against the 2 engineers on site. So clearly, prima facie, there seems to be a dereliction.
Have you named them in the FIR? Has anyone been named in the FIR, Sanju Verma? And do you know of this gentleman? Before I open up the debate, and I like Brinda to come in here. Before that, Sanju, have you heard of a gentleman called Nalin Katil?
Of course,
Have you heard of him?
Of course, yes.
Do you know what he said?
BJP president.
He said, forget potholes. He said, forget about drainage. Forget about development issues. Only and only focus on love jihad.
Deepthi, now if you've asked a pertinent question, I think it's only fair that you hear out my response. Today being a solemn occasion, I will not get into this. I will not get into the tu-tu meh stuff.
Sanju Verma, only you have been speaking at least for the last 10 minutes.
So let me finish. You asked me a question.
So please do not complain today. We should be complaining as citizens today.
Fine.
I want to know, is Nalin Katil still a part of the BJP? What have you taken? One second. Before I open this up for debate, Sanju, you can't run away with that question. Nalin Katil, is he still a part of the BJP? Has there been any action against him?
Deepthi, let's be very clear. What action will be taken or will not be taken against Nalin Katil, it's not my space to say that. You are very aware as a seasoned journalist that internal matters with respect to organizational restructuring is decided by the top brass. So it would be unfair for me to jump the gun and comment, but I would just say this, that yes, We need to discuss civic issues rather than focusing on issues that really don't concern the day-to-day life of citizens. But having said that, don't forget that under the BJP government, and I'm not shirking away any responsibility about the metro pillar incident, all I'm saying is that Karnataka today has a GDP of more than 18 lakh crore with a per capita income of more than 2,31,000. One of these states along with Gujarat
and Bangalore, you know, Sanju Verma, before you try to deflect the debate, Bangalore today also, if you want to take it as a distinction, has the highest number of road accidents. You know, you name it, right from pothole-related deaths to lake encroachment to poisoned lakes, everything. Tell me something, what have you done? And the answer, like they say, Sanju Verma, are blowing in the wind. But don't forget that the smallest coffins are the heaviest. 2.5-year-old child today is dead. And you are throwing money at that family, 20 lakhs. Brinda, let's open the debate. Sanju Verma, you haven't taken any action against Nalin Katil, but I think it's important, Brinda, that we play out what he said. It's important. No heads must roll, but where are they rolling? Yes. Your own BJP MP says forget about potholes, forget about development. Only and only focus on love jihad. Here is that man. We listen into that reaction.
ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ನೀವು ರಸ್ತೆ ಮೋರಿ ಚರಂಡಿ ಸಣ್ಣ ವಿಷಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಡಿ. ವೇದವ್ಯಾಸ ಹೋದಾಗ ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನಳಿನ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ನಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. ನಳಿನ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ನಕ್ಕು ನಿಮಗೇನು ಬಂಗಾರ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಬದುಕಿನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಲವ್ ಜಿಹಾದ್ ಅಂತ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಜನತಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಬೇಕು. ಲವ್ ಜಿಹಾದ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಜನತಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ.
So Sanju Verma, are you embarrassed or no? Just a yes or no, and then I'll take this up and I'll open the debate now.
Deepthi, you know, I don't wish to sound political, but the correct answer is that one, Nalin Katil does not represent what the BJP dispensation in Karnataka is all about. If you wish to focus on Nalin Katil, I can also say that thanks to Basavaraj Bommai and prior to that Yediyurappa, Karnataka today is amongst the top 5 states in terms of GDP growth.
You're evading the subject.
Also in road accidents, Bangalore in terms of road accidents. Now, Brinda, clearly Sanju Verma today has no answers. So another probe has been ordered. Money has been given to the family. Let's stop talking about the incident, Brinda, until another case happens.
Exactly. And when Ms. Sanju Verma is telling that Naveen Katil is not so much big in the party, why hasn't he been sacked yet? What is the disciplinary action taken against him? Why is it that he is still running free? And this impunity is what makes these people talk like this. There's no accountability by the person. There's no accountability by the party. And in this particular case, 20 lakhs for 2 lives? And all because you give that 20 lakhs from the taxpayers' money. Why not 5 crores? 70% of it taken from all the officers and elected representatives, beginning from the chief minister.
You know, Brinda, I just beg to differ. It's not even about money and compensation. I mean, I asked that family today. We were just playing at that reaction from Lohit, and let's get in both Tanveer and Amrit, who are political representatives on the show, and then we'll open with Vivek, Indrajit and R.K. Mishra. Indrajit, I know you want to come in, but just allow me a minute, because let's get in the first opening comments with Tanveer and Amrit. Tanveer, who's to be blamed?
Certainly the construction company and the people who didn't follow the SOPs and protocols. That's the first people to be blamed. And I'm sure the investigation is given to Indian Institute of Science, and the truth is definitely going to come out. And based on the investigation report, we can really pinpoint who is exactly responsible. Today is not a day where I'm really going to use this for political benefit or calling names. Today it is not about JDS, Congress or BJP. It is 2 important lives which are lost. And I'm sure all the political parties, Sanju Verma, me and every political party, every person in politics would definitely be concerned and worried and would be definitely be feeling the pain deep inside. Any person with heart would definitely feel pain. I'm sure, I believe that Indian Institute of Science is the best organization, best institute, and they would really give the right investigation report, and the Honorable Chief Minister would definitely take right and suitable action.
Interesting. A very refreshing comment from Tanveer Ahmed today, and I'm quite surprised, Amrit. Before I come to you, I have to ask Tanveer one thing. Tanveer, when was the last time that you held a protest on killer potholes or on, encroached lakes, the poisoned lakes? When did you do that?
Actually, I'm sure you don't live in Bangalore, and Brinda knows, and RK Mishra would also definitely know that every...
you don't have to live in Bangalore to know this. I'm sure you can tell us.
Every single thing which is going against the city, definitely, whether it is cutting of the trees, whether it is steel flyover, steel bridge, whether every time to protect the beauty, the culture, the moral, and
can you tell me when was this protest? When was this protest last? Which month it was? Can you recall how many months ago you held a protest like this? We might have missed it, so that's why I'm asking you, Tanvi.
It was about 6 months back. We definitely did. JDS did hold a protest, and I was also part of it. I was leading it.
Okay, interesting, Amrit. That's a question that the opposition should also be asked. You know, the government of the day clearly has failed. But tell me about the opposition. Because the opposition is more worried about projecting Siddaramaiah as the face. You know, you want to defend him. You want to project him as the face. There are fights about Tipu Sultan. Fights about everything else. Lot of polarizing, divisive issues. When was the last time the Congress took out a protest on civic issues, Amrit?
Yeah, Congress is always taking civic issues. But let me tell you, before I spoke, earlier speakers were talking about, in fact, you were also talking about Nalin Kumar Katil. Nalin Kumar Katil is not an ordinary MP or ordinary BJP worker. He is the state president of Karnataka BJP unit. Whatever he speaks, it is like the entire Karnataka BJP is speaking. So let me come to the point. Now, poor quality of the construction is the responsible for today's incident. And who is the responsible for the all construction government activities? Chief Minister himself is the responsible. When Chief Minister and BJP is busy in diverting the focus of people from tangible issues to emotional issues like love jihad, conversion, and all this Ram Mandir, all these emotional issues, BJP is to be blamed. There is nothing politics in that. Ruling party is BJP. People are paying tax to the government.
Okay, BJP Amrit is to be blamed.
That tax money
That's fine, but you're ducking my question, and I'll attempt to ask you again, Amrit. I'm asking you again. When was the last time that the Congress party or the opposition took out a protest for the citizens? When did you do that last? Can you tell me?
Every day Congress party is taking protests in different parts of Karnataka and India. Now the question is, Congress is not in power.
It's surprising no one has seen it.
Educate people.
Okay.
Not to be trapped.
But are you saying when Siddaramaiah was in power, I think it was 2013 onwards, are you saying the infrastructure was any better? I'm sure you can't say that, and because you remember a name called Nalin Katil, and yes, he's a BJP man.
I don't see.
Do you remember a name called Ashwin Jodige? Amrit, do you know who Ashwin Jodige is?
No, it is irrelevant. No, I don't know. I don't want to comment all these things. Let me focus on the subject today.
You don't know. So let me tell you.
Today Congress
is not in power. Because it's important to expose all political parties. The BJP, the Congress, the JDS.
Respond.
One second. Now, let me just enlighten Amrit.
You can't generalize all the political
parties.
Did
the Congress party carry out a protest?
I'll complete.
Amrit, listen to this. Ashwin Jodige died last March. He died last March. He flew off his two-wheeler, deflected by a pothole in Bengaluru. You don't even remember his name. Forget about the fact that you might have protested, for him, for civic issues. This is the problem. This has become a problem. How do we fight this? Brinda, Vivek, Indrajit and RK Mishra. Now that is the focus. We've heard the netas on the panel. Now it's the turn for you, the viewer, the voters, to speak up. And let me tell our people, On the bottom of our screens, you're looking at numbers continuously flashing. We are taking your calls live. And like I said, this is a Republic campaign, Amrit. Amrit, now you must listen. We've given you chances. We've asked you questions. You failed miserably. Elections are just around the corner. 3 months, and we'll be into the Karnataka elections. Is this going to be an issue or not? R.K. Mishra. Or again, it'll be about hijab, conversion, Tipu Sultan, and everything else. R.K. Mishra.
On this particular issue, I think Nagarjuna Construction, which is a very large and respectable company, it is complete negligence. The worksite management is pathetic in all projects in Bangalore. And not only Bangalore, across the country, because contractors do not want to spend 0.001% in putting barricades. Barely they even put those hazard tapes. And here, something of this magnitude happening, and there were no barricades. Why the person was so close to it? And of course, there's a complete 100% responsibility lies on the contractor and people who are supervising it. So having said that, I think Nalin Katil said what he said on Love Jihad. These guys are busy about Tipu. Elections are around the corner. This is a 20 lakh matter. They will just finish and bury it. None of them are concerned. This has happened in JDS government, Congress government and BJP government. Now all of these people are saying protest. Protests are for different reasons. Protest today was that book should not come out. Otherwise they will be exposed as Tipu sympathizers. They will lose Hindu votes. Nalin wants to make sure that they get Hindu vote by fight for Love Jihad. Actually, it's a shame because I think these people are, along with politicians, also mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, and common citizens. And unfortunately, none of this matters because politics and...
But there is nothing, R.K. Mishra Saab, there is nothing common about these netas. They will have an entourage. They will have their own security outlet. They don't travel like you and I do. Like you're just cruising past a road and suddenly you have a pillar that falls on you. Isn't that the point, Vivek Dikshit?
Can I come in here? Deepthi.
Yes.
Excuse me, sir. Can I just let me complete?
Vivek first and then Mr. Lankesh. Yes.
Deepthi, sometimes back.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Deepthi, one is absolutely appalled by this kind of brazen responses which come in from the politicians. Nobody is worried about the value they put on the human life. I mean, a couple of weeks back, you remember, you did a program on stubble burning. And there's where the AAP government was in question.
Correct.
And you have the BJP government now, the Morbi issue which happened almost simultaneously there. So so basically the thing is that one is trying to cover up the things. Cover up and try to divert it into some other direction. Now, Sanju responded with the fact that, well, the FIR has been lodged. In fact, in Delhi, a couple of days back, 2-3 days back, lift fell and 4 people died in a gutka factory. The FIR was registered there as well. 304, 337, 338, all that is correct. But why the engineers only? Where are the directors of the company?
That's the point.
Why are they protected? Similarly, in the case of that Morbi bridge, so we should have a zero tolerance policy. And secondly, if you have certain guidelines, you have SOPs, you have barricade to put. I have heard that the eyewitnesses have told that they were telling the authorities, "Ki bhai ye girne wala hai, ye gir jayega." You are inviting trouble.
They have.
You're not taking any action. People are coming and telling you, you don't have your own. You're not following your own guidelines. If there is a structure which is precariously poised, then you might as well take action. Maybe cover that area so that people don't go there. So this is absolutely the way the things are being run.
Because Vivek, you and I both know the answer. You and I both know the answer. Like you mentioned the stubble burning case, what happened?
Yeah.
Arvind Kejriwal was not penalized. The Morbi bridge happened, nothing happened of the BJP. In fact, they won there. And still the man, the Oreva company man is still at large today. Mr. Lankesh, only with your permission, I know you haven't spoken, sir, but just give me 30 seconds. One of our callers has been very patiently holding the phone line. Rahul, good evening. What do you want to say, Rahul?
First of all, I'm Rajul from Mumbai.
Rajul, okay. We stand corrected, Rajul.
Yeah. My observation is that, see, in Mumbai, there are a huge metro work is going on, and it is really surprised that there is not at all a 0.01% safety for citizens who is walking or driving around. I will give one simple example that before a couple of months back, when the construction was going on somewhere near Andheri area, on a level of third floor, there was a welding, and the welding burns are falling on the road. There was no safety factor. I just called one supervisor there, and I asked him that what is the safety factor? If one of the burn is falling on anyone's citizen's head, just see that what a serious burn will happen. So my question is, there is no protection at all for citizens, and I'm surprised that as a politician or as any specific department from the safety side who is just bothering this. As a businessman, anything happens in my factory, the particular safety people are just giving trouble like anything. But now in this case, this poor lady died in a very young age, and then what is the thing which citizen has to do? This is my question. And I am very seriously taking this action.
What can the citizen do? That's exactly, sir. That's exactly why we've put out this Republic campaign. Because every 5 years, you can exercise your power of vote. We have to ensure that every such government is held accountable. I think it's a very valid point, Rajul, that you've made. Thank you for calling us from Mumbai. Let's go back to Indrajit Lankesh, who still hasn't spoken, and then we'll go back to our political panel and ask questions that today all of you are asking. So Indrajit, who today is to be blamed? 20 lakhs is a compensation announced by the authorities. The Chief Minister says we've announced a compensation.
First of all, my condolences to the family, Tejaswi and her child. We feel sorry for them, the whole family. And next is, of course, now Tejaswi and her child is dead. Inquiry is going on. Inquiry will go on. Then everybody will get a clean check, and 20 lakhs or whatever you're saying, it's on paper. Because the last year, 13 people have died. 13 people have died. And if you go back to your records, none of these 13 people who have been announced compensation have not got the money. And as you said, it's not about the money. It's about the lives. As BJP spokesman said, that heads have to roll. The heads have been rolling, ma'am. The heads have been rolling in Bangalore. Heads after one after other has been dying. Potholes, in fact, in 2020 and 21, highest number of deaths in Karnataka, in Bangalore, 30 deaths in Bangalore. And in just 2022 and 23, 13 deaths, and our Honorable CM has announced bravely compensation. Nobody's got the compensation. It's just on paper. And just to go back, 2010, a 17-year-old girl, Sanjana Singh, she died while going to her college to attend class right opposite to the CBI office. A compound fell down. A contractor who had constructed a government compound. Today he's a minister. The same contractor is a minister in your government, BJP government. And Katil, you talk about Katil. He's the president of Karnataka. What action can you take? Only Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah can take action on him. The spokesman cannot take action on him. Let's stop debating and let's stop talking and take action against this government. It's an election year, as you said, Ms. Sachdev. It's an election year, and they're talking about hijab, love jihad, jhatka, halal, etc., etc., etc. And people are dying here. The real opposition is Republic TV and the media today. None of the opposition party also, they're busy going and selecting their constituencies where to win, because none of them are sure of winning also. The opposition party has failed, the ruling party has failed, and everybody in between have failed. It's except the people. I agree. 18 lakh trillion, whatever lakhs you're saying about GDP. GDP we are giving. We people, common people are giving the GDP. We are working our asses out here. What are you talking about? As if Mr. Bommai and Chief Minister and the government, BJP, is giving the GDP. You're taking the GST and not giving back. The potholes are there. People are dying. What are you going to do about it? Heads have to roll. Whose heads are rolling? People's heads are rolling.
Okay.
Of course, it's because of the IT.
Okay, so Indrajit is asking whose heads have rolled till now. Indrajit, your guess is as good as mine. And because you spoke about the data, you know, I just googled the NCRB data, and we must tell Sanju Verma about this. And also, let's say good evening to Commodore GJ Singh Saab, who's calling us this evening from Bangalore. He's not just a regular viewer; he participates in all our debates, and we must listen to him very, very carefully this evening. I will take a first response from him and then go to Sanju. Commodore Saab, good evening, sir. How are you, and what would you want to say?
Thank you. I just want to mention here, I want to bring to your notice, apart from all this other conversation that is going on, is that what kind of message are we sending across the world? This is a city which is a world fame. It's a world destination. You find people coming from all over the world here. And the condition of roads, and especially the construction of this metro, which is taking place now, incidentally, it happens to be very close to the residence where I stay. It is in a pathetic condition. You'll be surprised. The whole road is a mess. And I think that what we need to do is, right from the top to the bottom, people who are supervising, overarching the supervision of this metro, they need to be booked right from the ministerial level down to the engineers who have been supervising this, because it's a tragic incident. The number of deaths that are taking place, all the other panelists have very well described. This is become a commonplace here. We are a country which is now recognized because of the good efforts of our Prime Minister all over the world. People look up to us, and especially Bangalore, because Bangalore is one city where all the IT people, they come here, they stay here, and this particular road where it took place is actually a way to the international airport. I mean, we have to give, some kind of honorable, respectful image to the city. Not that every day we are having accidents taking place because the apathy of the local authorities and the government, which is totally entangled in, meshed in the non-issues. And we have to look after our city, because even in India, people coming over to this place from all over India. I have been staying here for the past 32 years, and I tell you, when I came here, the total population was just about 10 to 12 lakhs, or 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs. Now it is 1.34 crores, the number of people, expansion that has taken place.
You're right.
It is all there. So I think the strict action needs to be taken against all those
Commodore Saab, only because, I think we must take in more callers, but as always, it's a pleasure, sir, talking to you. And I think you make a fantastic point. And it's not even a favor that you're asking Sanju Verma from an elected government. It is their job. It is their damn job. We are all taxpayers. I mean, should we be grateful that a government ensures that there are no pothole-ridden roads, that the lakes are clean, so that, the drinking water is cleaner, so that we are safe in case we are just strolling by or cruising through on a bike or a car? You should just be careful the next time you're under perhaps a metro bridge or something. Is that the message that you want to give out, Sanju?
No, absolutely not, Deepthi. I started by saying, and in fact, I think beat Brinda, beat Vivek, beat R.K. Mishra, or beat Indrajit, they were scathing in their criticism, and I think that is the right of every citizen, because basic necessities, access to public infrastructure that is working and functional, sanitation, these are things that need to be delivered. And all I'm saying is that while we need
so why hasn't it been delivered in the last many years that you've ruled the state of Karnataka?
No.
We are looking at an election now, just 3 months down the line.
Deepthi, I'm just making my last few points. Please, can I just finish, sir? Deepthi's made an important point. Let me just counter her.
Quickly, Sanju.
I just want to say this to you, that what BJP inherited in 2016, Deepthi, I'm just trying to give you some data, not shirking away accountability. In 2016, there were 3 lakes, Alipur, Moka and Bellari. which provide about 80% of the water to urban Bengaluru and nearby rural areas as well. And they had all reached dead storage levels, which means that these lakes were not able to provide drinking water, and it was BJP which came in and ensured.
So are you, Sanju, I just want to cut this chase short, because what you're doing is you want to go back into the background. You clearly want to blame the Congress for everything. But tell me something, you've been in power for the last 4.5 years, a little more than 4.5 years. Are you telling me that is not enough for you to fix whatever problems you're today complaining about, Sanju?
I am not complaining. I started by telling you that because it is the BJP government that I am talking of accountability. Had it been the Congress or anybody from the opposition, they would not have even come on the debate. They are so scared to take questions from citizens. And compensation is not enough, but it's just a gesture. We are not saying that compensation de diya hai, so heads will not roll. Gesture? That is not what I said.
Why don't you, as a better gesture, Brinda and Vivek, I think, must come in now. Brinda first. Is this a gesture we should welcome this? The government is paying us compensation. We should be indebted.
Certainly not.
Brinda?
No. Why should we be indebted? We are the paymasters. First thing our chief minister should have said is there would be an independent inquiry. The courts will give the sanction to prosecute everybody. Because right now, Deepthi, you will see that out of 100 cases, less than 3 cases get permission to be prosecuted, which means everybody else goes scot-free. So I am asking whether all the political parties over here will tell us that they will bring in a legislation where we do not require the court to give permission to prosecute these people, the culprits. Criminal negligence on anybody's part will be booked directly. We don't need, mother of democracy does not require another state agency like the court to give permission to prosecute somebody who has already got an FIR booked.
But Brinda, when was the last time that we actually saw heads rolling when it came to issues of civic apathy? Indrajit, I don't recall. Whether this is about the stubble burning that you saw in the national capital, to the Morbi bridge collapse that we saw in Gujarat, to this. There have been tons of deaths because of, pothole-ridden roads. What has happened on any case, Sanju Verma? Absolutely nothing. That's the point, Mr. Lankesh.
That's what I'm saying. I need to make this point.
So they will also BMRCL
water in Bellary
is asking,
it's been the
should I
highest
resign?
rainfall this year. Apart from Bellary water in a lake because of the highest rainfall, we have to talk about a patient dying in a government hospital because of a power outage. Because of a power outage, she died. A patient died in Bellary hospital, in a government hospital. It's just not the one-off case. In Tumkur, a pregnant lady came in for delivery just because she didn't have an Aadhaar card. They didn't allow her in a government hospital. The lady and the child both died. So what are you talking about? You're talking about heads rolling. Where are the heads rolling?
Heads roll.
The heads will roll in.
No heads roll.
Yes, I quickly...
roll is when the elections come in.
Indrajit, with your permission, I want to go to Tanveer because I'm told that, he wants to leave. But before he leaves, I think we must allow him a counter here, Tanveer. Because today you're being very soft towards the BJP. Is it because of the elections round the corner? Where is the opposition? Why is the opposition today so muted? We should be concerned.
Deepthi, we still stand. We accuse BJP of 40% commission, criminalizing the entire issues and all those things. But today is not the day. Today is not the day. And I'm sure, Brinda Adiga and Mr. Indrajit Lankesh are really speaking the citizens' voice. As a responsible spokesperson, I really understand that, today just going and blaming BJP that the bridge fell down.
But why aren't you speaking for citizens, Tanveer? Instead of speaking for netas for a political party, you should have spoken for citizens today.
I want to add one point here. I want to add one point here.
We always speak for citizens.
Just one point. Just give me a second.
We also have a caller who's waiting. We have a caller who's waiting. Tanveer, do you want to complete your point in 10 seconds, Tanveer? Then we'll go to Amit. Then we'll go to Amit. He's also calling us this evening from Bengaluru.
1 second here. Just give me 1 second.
Tanveer, 10 seconds, then to Amit.
Tanveer, we appreciate you bringing in the 40% commission, PSI commission or whatever. But this is a citizen's voice. People are dying because of potholes. This is more important than Santro Ravi's case.
But Tanveer today is speaking like a Neta. No, Indrajit, you haven't understood that. He's not speaking like a citizen. That's the problem. Because R.K. Mishra, they all become Netas. They forget the fact what a citizen goes through.
This is a people's problem, Tanveer.
No, Tanveer, do you want to say something? Tanveer.
Political leadership here, of course, because they can't say against each other because all the governments have done the same thing. So neither Tanveer, nor Sanju or Congress person is here. Actually, it is the basic thing. Once you are in the government, you are not with the citizens. Once you are in the government, you are the ruling class, you are the governing class. If something happens, you defend.
But why are we accepting this? That's the problem, R.K. Mishra sir. We can't accept this. I want to go to Amit. I want to go to Amit. He's calling us from Bengaluru. And thank you, Amit, for your patience. Thank you, Amit, for your patience. Yeah. Please go ahead and say what Deepti. You want to say, Amit.
Deepti, first, my condolences to the family. And let me tell you that I'm a photographer and I pass through that way every other day, let me tell you. And this could have happened with me also. But I'm telling you, you have taken up this issue. It has been going on from so many years. Nothing will happen. Otherwise, I'm a very optimistic person. But regarding this, the Bangalore condition is deteriorating very badly, and it has been happening for past decades. You know, and I'm sure about it that you will take up this issue. It will die down after a few weeks, and nothing will happen. Everybody will go back to their homes as usual. You know, may it be any party coming in the power. It's not going to happen. And we as citizens don't have any power, whether money-wise or power-wise or strength-wise. You know, we are so helpless. We feel so
Amit,
helpless.
You have the power of your vote.
You know,
you have the power of your vote.
Yes, but one person, what change he can bring? You know, every other voter can bring any party, but
we can collectively, and you know. Trust us when we say this, because in the last decade or so, Amit, because you've been, you know, a loyal viewer, you would know that every campaign that Roundup and the entire team has pushed when it is about VVIP racism, it is what's been happening in the aviation sector. We've seen heads rolling. It takes time.
Yes.
It takes time, Amit, but we have to keep asking these questions.
Yeah.
Will any of them, when they come to power, will they bring in the legislation?
Yes.
Can I, Ms. Sachdev, can I come in here?
They don't. And you know, another interesting thing that we must ask Sanju, and I know Vivek and R.K. Mishra both want to come in, but I was reading that the BBMP has had no elections at least for the last 2 years. Sanju Verma, can you tell us why?
Deepti, I want to focus on the nub of the issue today, and let me be very clear. You know, with no offense to you, there has been a narrative that no action was taken against the perpetrators of the Morbi bridge collapse. Let me just tell you that Oreva/Ajanta Corporation had, delegated or sublet this work to Dev Prakash Fabrications, and Devang Parmar, the proprietor of Dev Prakash Fabrications, was arrested within a few days.
No, Sanju. 150 plus people died. No, Sanju Verma. 150 plus people died. The man who was at the helm of the Oreva company is still today a free man. This is the problem, Vivek, because you come on national television, you want to create a picture, a narrative that, listen, we are taking action.
No.
Please understand, Sanju Verma, the viewers today are very, very smart. They remember the stubble burning in Delhi, like Vivek mentioned. They remember what happened in the Morbi bridge. They remember the inaction by all governments, whether it is the Congress, the BJP, the JDS, haven't covered themselves, Sanju Verma, in any glory when it comes to the civic infrastructure in the city of Bengaluru. Vivek.
Can I come in?
Vivek.
Can I come in?
Yes, Vivek.
Can I come in? Can I come in?
Please.
Yes, Deepti, this is a flawed argument. As if Sanju is trying to say that the proprietor has been booked, she must understand that in legal terms there is a principal-agent relationship, and to that extent, if the agent is responsible, the principal is equally responsible, and therefore the action must have happened on the Oreva. Well, let's come back to the core issue.
But you know, Vivek, why she's saying this, R.K. Mishra Saab, is also because this gives you a broader indication of where this case will also go. fix the accountability just on the contractor, a few of the engineers. What Sanju Verma is not telling us, R.K. Mishra, is that the BMRCL is a joint venture of the government of India and the government there in the state of Karnataka. They also have equal responsibility, R.K. Mishra.
Giving out some new information.
Yes, R.K. Mishra.
Everybody is aware of basic facts.
Sanju, let me speak. Starting from Chief Minister.
So have they been named? Have they been named in the FIR, Sanju Verma?
Deepti Sachdeva, why don't Deepti Sachdeva? You have not once named Nagarjuna Construction, which is the contractor
yes, Sanju Verma, tell me, ma'am.
Metro project, and they need to be held accountable too. Have you once named Nagarjuna Construction? Deepti Sachdeva, have you once named Nagarjuna Construction?
Sanju Verma,
no.
Relax.
May I ask why?
It's not the very first time, Sanju Verma, that the moment you start asking uncomfortable questions to political parties, it's known, Sanju. Like I said, people know this. See, Amit called us and he's aware of what you've done, what you've not done. Listen to other people also, Sanju Verma. Elections are just around the corner. Just 3 months. 3 months down the line, Sanju Verma.
I would like to get in here.
Our newsrooms today, Sanju Verma, flooded with phone calls with Sanju Verma. Listen to us, please. Please, Sanju Verma, listen to R.K. Verma, Vivek, Lankesh. They all want to speak.
I would like
R.K. Mishra,
I would like to get in here.
No, I think Sanju, I think very important.
Yes, R.K. Mishra first, then Indrajit, I'll come to you.
Yeah.
Let me speak. So I think, Sanju, one thing important you should do, I think you're trying to do very good defense of your party. What your party should do, first of all, Chief Minister did not even go to meet these people, I believe. That is very insensitive. In fact, it's a basic human emotion, whether he is a politician or not, he should have gone. He's a Bangalore development minister, not as a chief minister, he should have gone. Then the people responsible who are managing this firm, which are BMRCL people, they need to be held accountable. Then Nagarjuna is one of the biggest construction company in the country. They got this tender based on the merit. They got the tender on L1 as well as technical competence.
The Nagarjuna construction should be also held accountable. And I don't see anybody on the panel talking about Nagarjuna construction.
Sanju Verma, Miss Sanju Verma, why are you trying to crush people's voice? You need to crush civic apathy now. Enough. Sanju Verma. 1 second. No, Indrajit, quickly. Just 10 seconds. We need to wrap.
I'm feeling so sorry.
Quickly.
I feel so sorry that the spokesperson, BJP spokesperson, is trying to defend. There is no other angle to this story. There's only one angle to this story is you have to be very sensitive about it. About Miss Tejaswi and her child is being dead. Not just them. A series of deaths have been happened. Not just in the civic communities as well, in government hospitals and whatnot. The whole 3 years of BJP government, there are more deaths than any other previous government. So it's just, you have to be very sensitive about it.
Indrajit, we've run out of time. But the only thing that I would say, elections are around the corner. Citizens have to speak up now. All political parties who want to deflect attention, not focus on your and my safety, should be held to task. Sanju Verma, Brinda DK and all gentlemen, thank you so much for speaking to us, for your time. We quickly head into a break right now, and on the other side, remember, it's the other big debate. It's the other big debate of what's really happening in West Bengal. Why is Didi angry? Why does Didi have a problem with the BJP wanting to perform Ganga Aarti? That's a debate on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाइड क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
11,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाइड क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Statements of 2 crew members of the Air India flight on which a man allegedly urinated on an elderly woman co-passenger to be recorded today. The 2 crew members were to join the probe yesterday but could not as they were outside Delhi. An incoming chartered flight from Moscow to Goa diverted to Gujarat's Jamnagar after Goa air traffic controller received a bomb threat. Second round of luggage checking went on earlier and nothing suspicious has been found yet. Authorities will be letting the flight leave for Goa by 10 a.m. Assam government holding yet another massive eviction drive in Lakhimpur in Assam. This time the eviction drive is being held at Pabho Reserve Forest in Lakhimpur, which has been under encroachment since long. Massive fire reported from Raja Utsav Community Hall in Patna. Several fire tenders along with police officials are at the spot to deal with the situation. "600 homes in the sinking town of Joshimath in Uttarakhand evacuated after a survey by satellites. Meanwhile, the matter is to be mentioned before the Chief Justice in the Supreme Court today. A team has been set up by the centre and will be going to Joshimath to survey the area. In the Shraddha Walkar murder case, accused Aftab Poonawalla to be produced in Saket Court today. In the last hearing, the judge had asked the accused Aftab Poonawalla to be produced in a court physically rather than via video conferencing. In the Delhi hit-and-run case, accused Ashutosh to be produced before Rohini Court, while all the others accused have been sent to custody as of now. Supreme Court to be hearing a batch of over 200 petitions challenging the constitutional validity of the Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. Supreme Court to take up the matter today. Days after Rajouri terror attack and ahead of Republic Day, forces put on alert in Jammu. 11 Rashtriya Rifles of Indian Army along with Jammu and Kashmir Police carrying out massive searches across the area. Home Minister Amit Shah chairs key meet with BJP leaders after terror attack in Rajouri. Sources suggest responsibility for security lapse in Rajouri and issues of protesting Kashmiri Pandits and reserve category employees addressed. And a quick look at other international news that we're tracking. Republican Kevin McCarthy sworn in as Speaker of the House following a
It's BJP versus Bengal police once again. BJP was denied the permission for Ganga Aarti, leading to mega face-off. Big debate at 10 p.m.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
11,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
And a quick look at other international news that we're tracking. Republican Kevin McCarthy sworn in as Speaker of the House following a historic election on the 15th ballot, overcoming a week of chaotic holdouts. The newly elected members were finally able to take oath, and they had been waiting all week for the chamber to formally open the session to begin for 2023. President Joe Biden inspected a busy port of entry along the US-Mexico border on Sunday on his first trip to the region after 2 years, as Republicans remarked him for being soft on border security, while the number of migrants crossing spirals in a sign of the deep political tensions over immigration. Republican Governor Greg handed Biden a letter that said the chaos at the border was the result of the president's failure to enforce federal laws. A rescue operation where 2 people were killed and 5 others were injured, including a 13-year-old girl, by a Russian rocket strike on Monday that hit in the northeastern Kharkiv region. The rescue is still underway as more are feared to be trapped under the rubble. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's first foreign policy speech in London outlines his government's foreign policy orientation, where he highlights the country's China policy. Sunak said that the fairy tale period of UK-China ties is now over as China's pursuit of an aggressive foreign policy, threatening posture with neighbours, its reckless actions in Hong Kong and repression in Tibet and Xinjiang have crystallized Britain's threat perception. The Taliban issued a decree banning Afghan women from working in NGOs. The decision comes after they suspended university education for women and secondary schooling for girls. Several international organizations have claimed that their regular operations have been disabled in the country due to harsh impositions on women. Rolls-Royce reported a strong record for the year for sales with more than 6.
From the Delhi studios of Republic TV, it's time for The Debate.
The Debate at 10, powered by Century Pro Wood.
Ladies and gentlemen, in Bengal, it's a fresh face-off between the BJP and the Trinamool Congress. This time, it is about the Ganga Aarti. The West Bengal BJP was denied permission to hold the Ganga Aarti on the occasion of the Ganga Sagar Mela, and now they are protesting. Take a look and then we debate.
BJP supporters and workers gathered in front of Babu Ghat and they are protesting. Denied permission to hold a Ganga Aarti program on the occasion of the Ganga Sagar Mela, the BJP is outraged.
जिस तरीके से एक सम्मानीय जज के साथ, न्यायाधीश के साथ जिस तरीके का आचरण पश्चिम बंगाल में हो रहा है, ये शर्मसार कर देने वाली आचरण है। सरकार पूरी तरीके से बायस्ड हो चुकी है। आप किसी भी कोर्ट का बहिष्कार कर सकते हैं, लेकिन किसी भी कोर्ट का बहिष्कार कर सकते हैं आप, लेकिन दूसरे को बाधा नहीं दे सकते। यहाँ पे गुंडागर्दी चल रही है।
Scuffle erupted between the BJP workers and the Kolkata police in Babu Ghat, and the BJP state president Dr. Shukanta Majumdar along with other senior BJP leaders were arrested by Kolkata police. Later they were released from the police headquarters Lal Bazar. But this scuffle erupted because BJP leaders and BJP workers tried to worship Ganga during this Ganga Sagar Mela, and the Kolkata police also denied their permission, stating that the security will not be enough for the program.
The TMC is countering the BJP narrative.
This has become the instinct, habit and target of BJP to organize chaos on those days which are politically, socially and religiously very important.
Now it's the big Ganga Aarti face-off. Let's debate.
From the BJP, joining us is Priyanka Tibrewal. From the Trinamool Congress, Professor Manojit Mandal. Also joining us is Professor Pawan Sinha and Shubhankar Bhattacharya is joining us. Opening up the debate is Priyanka Tibrewal and Professor Manojit Mandal. First question to you, Priyanka Tibrewal. Why exactly are you politicizing this issue? As I understand, you were granted permission in a nearby ghat, and BJP members were detained because they were trying to enter Babu Ghat. And let me also remind you, on 12th of December, Shuvendu Adhikari said this is her technique of showing off. This is with regards to this very event. 20th December, the BJP's Manoj Tiga claimed, is it due to the approaching elections of the vote bank? So what has really changed right now, Priyanka Tibrewal?
See, we were arrested. The question should be asked to TMC, why did they arrest us? Firstly, we had the permission of holding this event. But even then, our stage was opened. By whom? By the police themselves.
That was for a nearby.
Now, we have a letter of permission which shows that we took the permission.
I have the certificate.
So the stage was,
I have the NOC.
The stage...
Let's put out the facts. I'll ask the questions.
Correct.
I'll ask the question, Priyanka Tibrewal, to the Trinamool Congress. They will also have to do some answering. But as far as you are concerned, let's put the facts correctly. There is a no objection certificate of holding the official consent for Ganga Aarti at the Kadamtala Ghat. You've been given permission, and that permission is for a nearby ghat. But what I understand is that the attempt was made to enter Babu Ghat. So why
the
make the attempt of entering another place where you did not have the permission?
Whatever was made for the program, it is not about entering other place. It's not marked. The boundaries are not marked. The entire thing is the ghat. But the permission which we had over there, the stage was made, the pandal was made, but the police came and opened up everything. They said that they will not allow us to do anything. Now I am just questioning the dictatorial attitude of this government. See, they have no faith in the Hindu religion, that we understand. They do not even understand the meaning of Makar Sankranti, that also we understand.
But Priyanka
and
Tibrewal,
the reason excuses which they gave,
it's your leaders.
petty excuses.
Your leaders also try to belittle. For all of us who are from Bengal, we understand this is a long-living tradition. As far as the Ganga Sagar Mela is concerned, it's a long-living tradition. And everyone associated with Bengal and even outside Bengal are aware of it. But let's remind our viewers that your leaders have also belittled the Ganga Sagar Mela.
No, now let me make this clear.
True? Am I wrong when Shuvendu Adhikari says that it is Mamata Banerjee's technique of showing off? Now, am I wrong, Priyanka Tibrewal, when I say that on the 12th of December, when your leader Shuvendu Adhikari says that this is her technique of showing off, and BJP's Manoj Tiga says that this is due to the approaching elections, and you target the chief minister of the state, then people will say that you first you belittle, then they'll say that this is nothing but this is showbaji.
We do not need to target her. You see, whenever there is any Hindu program or for that matter, any festival which comes in Hindu festival, she always does this. Now also let me make this clear that the excuse which they have given about the Ganga Sagar Mela. Ask Mr. Monojit Mandal, where is the Ganga Sagar Mela held? It is held in South Chobis Pargana at Ganga Sagar, not at Babu Ghat. So whatever excuse they gave was just a mere excuse because they will not do anything, neither they will allow any central scheme or project to be held. Now, this was being done under the Nawami Gange scheme. That is the entire reason why they stopped this. See, I have seen the Chief Minister herself, she visited Banaras. Thereafter, she came and suddenly she tried to show her Hinduism by saying, I will start Ganga Aarti here. Now, what went wrong if we were doing Ganga Aarti here? Why are you so baffled and troubled? Why are you so horrified? Again, the reason is the same. The reason for this
I want the facts to be on the table.
They're sitting ministers in jail.
Priyanka Tibrewal, I want the facts on the table. As I understand, I've done my homework. As I understand, the police says that the G20 is underway, and that is the reason why it's going to create a situation where there's going to be traffic snarls. And they've also cited the same thing as far as Arijit Singh's concert is concerned. So, are you really saying that there is a deliberate attempt by the Trinamool Congress to try and target their political opponents, that too through the Ganga Sagar Mela? Is that what you're trying to say?
Sir, now there is a simple question which I want to know. Now, because the G20 is coming or is nearby is about to come, tell me, has Mamata Banerjee stopped the namaz which happens on the roads? Has she shut down the temples? Has she shut down the Gurudwaras? No. And how many people were present for the Ganga Aarti? And how will this interfere with whatever events are supposed to take place in the city?
Now?
This is nothing
Priyanka,
but,
are you trying to
again,
make
I'm
this
telling
communal?
you.
Okay, let me get a... You asked multiple questions.
TMC has made
you've
this
asked
communal.
multiple questions to Manojit
It is
Mondal.
not me. TMC has done it.
Okay, I'm not saying that you are alleging. So let Professor Mondal, the BJP says you are targeting. Now let me just tell you just 2 points, Professor Mondal. As you respond to Priyanka Tibrewal, I want you to also respond to this. When you went to other states, let me also remind you 2 such incidents. In poll-bound state of Goa, when your Lok Sabha leaders wanted to present what you called at that point in time a charge sheet against the Goa Chief Minister, that event was cancelled. The Goa government did not allow you to do it. Point number 1. Point number 2, as far as another state where you have you're trying to open your account, that is in the state of Tripura, where you were again denied permission. You at that point in time, and let me just tell you, Shushmita, they've also made a point. Tripura police must answer which political party has sought permission for holding a rally at the same time and day, and police must specify the time when the letter permission was given to the police. This is your leader who said that. I am asking you this question also, while you also answer what Priyanka Tibrewal has to say, you answer my question. You raise this point in another state. In your own state where you are ruling, you don't allow your political opponents.
No, first of all, I really do not wish to answer the questions raised by a group of confirmed political frauds, a bunch of impious liars on TV. Even 1 week back, we were debating about who threw stones at Vande Bharat,
why call each other names? Let's have a dignified debate, Professor Mondal. Let's have a dignified debate.
This is a dignified debate.
At least respect your political
dignified people can only show dignity.
I'm simply saying, let's put
people who lack dignity cannot be dignified.
1 second, Priyanka Tibrewal. I'll allow you to. I'll allow. 1 second, Priyanka Tibrewal. Let me just hold on. Professor Mondal, I'm asking you a certain question based on facts. Why don't you make it very clear? What is the position of your government as far as this incident is concerned? Why don't you make it very clear that what was the reason why you did not allow your political opponent when they are saying that we want to carry on with a religious event?
You will ask me questions, but I will answer the way I understand it, not the way you want me to answer. Sir, if you have to allow me, since I was listening to these tracks patiently for the last 5-6 years, whatever they have been saying was proven wrong on the facts of it. I just gave an example of what happened during the Vande Bharat attacks. They said it was TMC doing it, Lungiwalas doing it, because they spew venom, communal venom, whatever they see.
Mr. Mondal, he was discussing about the Mela.
Can you please stop this?
He's discussing about the Mela. He's speaking about Vande Bharat.
Lady
this
on
proves
TV,
that this man has no answer.
I'll not
this man proves,
allow him to.
this
Allow
proves
him
that
to.
this man who calls
you will have ample
names, who
amount
says
of time.
that everyone is a liar, has no answer.
You will have ample amount of
He
time.
should come with preparation.
Both sides, to the Trinamool Congress and to the BJP. Come on. Please ensure the dignity of the debate. And also understand, people are watching you. They want answers. There's no point bickering because no one will understand what you're trying to
Tell me one thing,
Let
sir.
Professor Mondal make his point.
Barging
And Priyanka, you can respond to that. Allow him to at least make his point.
Interjecting others uncourteously.
I'm allowing you. Go ahead, Professor Mondal. Okay.
These people have always been violent on TV. Did I discover? These are violent, intolerant bigots on TV, not Hindus. Hindus are tolerant. If you are a real Hindu, you'll be tolerant, like we are doing. We have been listening to your trash for the last 5-6 years. Your nasty narratives about Bengal, about the Chief Minister, about the people of Bengal, about communal harmony for the last 5 years. And despite the fact that people of Bengal replied to you in 2021 to all those trashes, you are still chest thumping on TV, lying impiously on TV about every other incident
we are waiting
that is
for the
happening
answer
in this state. I tell you, No permission was denied. Look at her.
Professor Mondal.
She's so intolerant, intrinsically intolerant, fake Hindu. No permission was denied to this party. This political party is a bunch of thugs and hooligans. I repeat, and I'll prove in 30 seconds. The biggest leader of this political party, Shubhendu Adhikari, who was a political fraud, what was saying in December? 12, 14, 21. Something is going to happen. This government is going to break down. Look at these two fraud. If I call them political fraud, I become uncourteous. If I state fact, I become uncourteous. And when they are veritably lying on TV for the last 5 years, they are all good Hindus.
Mondal.
Shame on BJP, I repeat. No permission was denied, permission was given, and it was given. And let me tell you,
didn't get answer to a single question you asked.
Give me 30 more
as I
seconds.
understand, Professor Mondal, Professor Mondal, you can continue.
Thousands of devotees have gathered in Babughat for the
Professor
celebration
Mondal,
of Ganga
now you please tell me. So as I understand, you say that
from Babughat, the pilgrims go to Ganga Sagar.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Professor Mondal. You just now said.
So fake Hindus,
you can continue. Like Professor Mondal, I have two more guests who are waiting.
They are
Professor
looking
Mondal.
for a short route of
Professor
prayer
Mondal, I have two more guests waiting.
Go to Ganga Sagar and offer prayer.
One second.
No, you did not give me allow time. It did not allow my party
Professor
to
Mondal, no need to.
I repeat,
you're continuously
Ganga Sagar,
shouting.
The pilgrims are staying in Babughat. Thousands of them. All the devotees are staying in Babughat. From here, they take boat, they take buses to Ganga Sagar. And these people
Professor
are in
Mondal,
Bangla
Professor
called
Mondal,
Fakivaj.
I have other guests. I have two other guests also. Now, I want Professor Sinha to come in. Professor Sinha. Okay, you made your point. You made your point. Professor Mondal, you made your point. Allow the others to also talk. You still haven't answered. You still haven't answered one simple question that I was asking you. Did you, or your government, did they deny the permission?
You did not answer.
You said that no denial of permission.
Who says?
I did, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Professor Sinha, the fact of the matter is, I've asked the questions to both sides. 1 minute, hold on, Professor Mondal, I don't have the entire show to dedicate it to you. I have others to also come in. Professor Sinha and Shubhankar can come in now. Professor Sinha, the BJP says that this is continuously being done to them, primarily because they feel that the Trinamool Congress is against any sort of Hindu religion, any Hindu ritual.
I'm a tolerant Hindu, first of all.
There are also accusations that have been leveled against the BJP leaders.
Yes, I'm a tolerant Hindu, and I do want to pray where I was praying until yesterday. See, every administration has enough potential, enough powers, enough administration, enough police. But why then this decision was taken? G20 meeting is another event which would happen, which would occur in a limited sphere. Secondly, every year, Makar Sankranti Mela occurs there since ages. Every time this Mela occurs there. So this was a smaller event, a very small event, and this Aarti could have been done there. I think the administration should have allowed it. So if Didi is going there, Honorable Chief Minister is going there, so there are several other ways that Chief Ministers go to the public, they offer their prayers, they attend the meetings, they address the rallies, and still police manages. Many occasions are there in Kolkata during Durga Puja where police manages. Why not here? Why not here? Is it because of the fear that somebody may shout Jai Shri Ram? It is because of that. So
Professor Mondal says that everyone needs to be tolerant.
I'll let him finish.
So,
but Shubhankar, I want
let him finish.
Just to add what Professor Sinha was saying.
Can I come in?
Now, as far as G20 is concerned,
can I respectfully come in?
1 minute, Shubhankar. Just. I'll give you the time. Hear me out.
At the same
now, as far as G20 is concerned, Professor Sinha made a valid point. I just want to make an addition to that. Now, Professor Sinha, as I understand, as far as the G20 venues are concerned, they are mostly in the New Town area. For our viewers outside Bengal, let me just try and put this into perspective. We are talking about a place which is 20 kilometers away, and G20 is being cited as the reason why permissions are to be denied. Now, Shubhankar, please tell me, 20 kilometers away, and you find it a problem if any political party, forget it, if had it been even the left, you know, the left obviously is not going to, but I'm just talking about another situation where it could be any other political party, not just the BJP. Any other political party would have demanded. Why would you actually prevent them? Because the moment you do that, you actually lose the moral right when the same thing happens to you in any other state. And there is a pattern. You did not allow Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath during the election campaigning for his helicopter to land. So then how are you claiming to be the tolerant party of the East?
Well, can I come in? So, the thing is, now, number one, see what Professor Sinha said, I quite agree that, see, what happens is that every government has enough power and right in their hand to make it certain that any law and order condition should not be disturbed over there. And it could have been, because you also very well know, the Calcuttans very well know Calcutta, that the pilgrims who come over there is no such demarcation that where they are going to stay. So while this is being coincided, and every government does it, should I give you an instance? Just like Dev Deepavali in UP, the SP, the Samajwadi Party was denied Aarti over there in Varanasi. It was done by Yogi Adityanath. There was no such question, because then it was cited that because of, see, there was a risk of, to the law and order condition. So the Samajwadi Party are not, and here the BJP already has that history. They have that history in the profile that they use these conditions, they use these, Ganga Sagar Aarti, Ganga Sagar Mela is not Hindi, is not Hindu. Come on, tell me. Is Ganga Sagar Mela is a Muslim program? So why are you trying to rake up the things as a Hindu Muslim like Priyanka Tibrewal was doing just some time ago? It is not about Hindu versus Muslim. It is about not respecting the Bengali sentiment.
This is what you have done.
Ganga Sagar Mela is something about the Bengali.
Okay, one minute, hold on. You made a point. Let Priyanka also respond. Priyanka, the problem here is, Priyanka, hear me out. 1 minute. Priyanka can come in and then Professor Mondal can end this. Professor Mondal can also finally come in. But Priyanka Tibrewal, hold up. Shubhankar, you made a point. Priyanka Tibrewal, a straight question to you.
Yes.
The problem here is the BJP in the state of West Bengal has always been accused that you are only trying to stoke. 1 minute. Shubhankar, you made a point. Let me take this question to Priyanka. Priyanka, the attempt that your party essentially wants to make, that there is a divide always. Yes. And the fact that you are saying that there is a communal overtone to it, that's the allegation that is again and again leveled against you and your party.
Don't levy any allegations towards us. It is very simple and clear. Everyone sees what Mamata Banerjee government does every time, and this is very clear to everyone. He was talking of tolerance. Now you tell me, when a CM herself says that I will peel off the skin of those who say Jai Shri Ram, when she refuses to share the stage after hearing the chants of Jai Shri Ram, what does that prove? Her tolerance is very well seen. And he's speaking of law and order. Now tell me, what happens to the law and order situation when the police refuses, to catch hold of the perpetrators who burn children and women alive? Then where is the law and order situation gone? When you attack the convoy of the president of another party,
Professor
Mondal,
one quick response from you.
Even in the Professor Mondal,
okay.
What does the police do
Priyanka,
then?
you made a point. I have one more quick. I have a quick question to ask also Professor Mondal. Professor Mondal, you are very quick when it comes to the. Oh, Professor Mondal, please hear me out.
And just
Professor
one
Mondal,
last
please hear me
thing.
out. You are very quick in stopping your political opponents. 1 minute, Priyanka. You made a point. 1 minute, Priyanka. Professor Mondal, you are very quick in stopping your political opponent from carrying out any sort of activities. I don't see why does your police become so very tardy to take any sort of action when Hindus are basically being targeted in East Medinapur. The question here is that show that alacrity in almost all cases. You are saying that the BJP is it's a gang of louts. That's what you're calling it. But where do we really see the action when it comes to your own police?
No, first of all, let us make it clear. I said it clearly, I'm saying it now. No permission was denied. Just they were told to defer their program till 15th. And why Babughat? Please make it clear. Yes, New Town is 15 kilometers away from Babughat. But why permission was not given in Babughat? Because about lakhs of pilgrims, devotees are already sheltered in Babughat. They are all Ganga Sagar bound, which is about 100 kilometers away from this particular place. You please send your camera person to see what is happening in Babughat right now. And these people only wanted to chaos in that particular area. Go to Ganga Sagar. Who is stopping you? If you want to offer your prayers to Ma Ganga during Ganga Sagar Mela, why didn't you go to Ganga Sagar? Because you want the circuitous route, very shortcut route to Ma Ganga. Because you are fake
because
Mamta, even your governor today said, look at this person. What has happened? Governor has prayed.
How would you understand that? How would you understand that? Who has no respect? Who has no respect for the religion? You respect just one religion and that is clear.
I'm running out of time, but Priyanka Tibrewal, Professor Mondal is saying, okay, Priyanka, you'll also have to find an answer. You say, Trinamool Congress is saying that if you're so very interested, why don't you go to Ganga Sagar? Now, okay, why Babughat is the bigger question. But Professor Mondal, you'll also have to do some more answering to this entire problem.
They know nothing about the culture.
There is a pattern that is basically
They know nothing about the culture. They know nothing about Hinduism.
Okay, fine.
It is there on the Ganga Ghat.
If given an opportunity, both of you will continue the entire debate on this entire matter. But thank you very much. Thank you very much. Priyanka and Professor Mondal, I'm really running short of time. But thank you very much for putting this into perspective. Priyanka Tibrewal, Professor Sinha, Professor Mondal and Shubhankar Bhattacharya for joining us on the first debate. I'm sorry, Professor Mondal and Priyanka, I had to cut it short, but we're running short of time. Thank you very much for joining us on the second debate. Ladies and gentlemen, on the third debate, biggest questions essentially being raised as to what exactly is now happening in Pakistan. It turns out that the country is in shambles. The food prices are soaring. Protests against the army is just increasing with every passing day. And the Pakistan Prime Minister is walking around the world with a begging bowl. The state of affairs in the terror state are truly embarrassing. We here at Republic Media Network have exposed the Pakistani army when it comes to what's really happening in Gilgit-Baltistan. But tonight we're going to show you images only going to shock the entire nation. Take a look at this and the all-out chaos in Pakistan, and then we debate.
A stampede-like situation over food. The situation in Pakistan is at a tipping point. There are protests in Gilgit.
We would be able to generate close to about $8 billion domestically, but we're looking forward to an amount of equal share of $8 billion internationally.
Though this is not the first time that Pakistan has gone with a begging bowl around the world, this time the situation might be particularly dire in the backdrop of political mismanagement of last 1 year and the floods. And hence, we might keep getting these pictures of commoners in Pakistan fighting for wheat flour bags, even as in Geneva, Pakistani Prime Minister succeeded in promises worth US $10 billion of aid, and the Saudis promising $2 billion more of reserves. as alms for the Pakistani State Bank.
But the reality of Pakistan is coming back to bite it.
Before you said you're a diplomat, but several weeks ago you called Pakistan, your neighbor, the epicenter of terrorism.
Well, I did it again today without using the word Pakistan.
Yes, and this doesn't sound very diplomatic, does it?
No, because you are a diplomat doesn't mean you're untruthful. I could use much harsher words than epicenter. So believe me, considering what has been happening to us, I think epicenter is a very diplomatic word.
Now the Tehreek-e-Taliban is taking control and forming a parallel government. Pakistan must face the reality. It's the beginning of the end. Let's debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, the current situation in Pakistan is utterly shocking. And let's not forget, this is the very nation which is now going around the world with a begging bowl. Joining us on this debate is Major Gaurav Arya, Pathikit Brain, Dr. Amjad Ayub Mirza, he's an activist joining us from London. Hamid Khan would be joining us in a short while from now. Omar Altaf and Barrister Humayun. Let me straight away begin by asking Major Gaurav Arya, and Hamid Khan can open up the debate. Major Gaurav Arya, just a short while back, reports basically coming in, and perhaps the Pakistani guests should be shown the headlines of their own newspaper. I was just reading, their beloved newspaper just put out a headline saying Balochistan sends an SOS as it runs out of wheat. Wheat flour out of people's reach as soaring prices bite. I can continue. There are multiple such headlines, and our Pakistani guests who already had a problem with the fact that when we showed them the reality, last evening when I showed them the reality of what's happening in Gilgit-Baltistan, they said, okay, look here, what is really happening in India? Look at your own newspaper headlines, Hamid Khan, then you will actually realize where your country is now headed. First, a response coming in from Gaurav Arya, then I want Hamid Khan to respond.
Thank you, Shravan. The situation in Pakistan is extremely tense right now. There are food riots happening. In fact, 2 people have died.
I can't
And
hear.
I've just one hour back received. Am I audible, Shravan?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes.
Major, go ahead.
1 hour back, I received a video from Pakistan in which shows that there are food riots happening in Sindh, also interior Sindh, and people are fighting over wheat. And also, it's a scenario that is, there is poverty everywhere, Shravan. There is poverty in India also. It's not like 1.4 billion people in India are sleeping with their bellies full in the night. That is something that we have to accept. Except that in Pakistan, it's largely man-made. It is because of the corruption of their leaders, corruption of their military leaders, corruption of their civilian leaders, and overall mismanagement that has caused this. It is not simple poverty. It is man-made poverty in Pakistan. And, that is what really hurts, because it's a country with great resources. It's a country that has fertile land. It is a country that has manpower. It has mineral wealth. Pakistan does not lack in anything. But I think Pakistan lacks leaders with vision who have mismanaged the country. Otherwise, there is no reason why Pakistan should suffer, because it has the same soil like India. The same Punjab. It has the same extension of Rajasthan that they call Sindh. It is the same. Everything, almost the weather, everything is the same. It is just that it's been mismanaged by people, and it's really sad. We do have poor people, but ours is a case of poverty in many cases. There is a case of proper mismanagement due to corruption. You have Shehbaz Sharif on the screen. This man is so corrupt, his brother is so corrupt that it defies imagination, and they have looted all the wealth of Pakistan and taken it. So, bichara garib Pakistan mein kya karega? What will he do when you have leaders like this, unfortunately? Very, very unfortunate. Shravan.
But Major, there is no admission to the fact. I was just, Hamid Khan, a short while back, I was only looking at your news portals, and I saw a picture of a man who was literally clinging onto a mini truck, begging for wheat. And this is not a picture that I have seen it in any of the Indian news websites. Hamid Khan, you can just go, and I'm not naming any of your so-called websites, but most of them whom you call very popular, they are the ones who are putting it out. They are the ones who are saying that, look here, take a look at it. There are multiple such images. I can right now also tell you 3 such images where a person is literally clinging on. They want to weed back, but the motorcycle drives across and the person gets nothing. You get several $billion aid. Where does it all go?
Thank you, Shavan. Let me tell you one thing. There is no doubt there could be some struggling incidents in Pakistan, and but unfortunately, your media and especially some of the channels, they are making it too exaggerated,
not my
too
media,
much hype,
Khan.
untruthful, and
how is
not
it? Okay,
very
you
biased,
say it is exaggerated.
Because,
okay, I'm once again quoting Hamid Khan. Sorry to I don't like to interrupt. But when you say this is the problem. You had a problem with the fact you say Indian media is biased. What about your media? Now I'm just quoting. I'm just putting some more facts for you, and I'll also give you the news sources. These are all from Pakistani media. Pakistani media is saying the chicken meat is costing 620 rupees in Quetta in parts of Karachi. Now you're asking me. I'm just telling you.
What's the price of chicken meat in India?
News portal says soaring wheat flour cost. No, just hear me out, Hamid Khan. It is 130 kg per kg price of flour. It is available for 150 kg, while Chakki flour is selling at about 160 per kg. So I can keep going on and on. I'm only quoting not any other media. I'm quoting your own news portal. So why are you saying Indian media is hyping it? It's a fact.
No. I am just saying that there are critical situation economically. There is price hike undoubtedly, but unfortunately, Indian media is not making it better. Rather, they are exaggerating it. And honestly speaking, like Major Gaurav Arya just admitted, and I am surprised he admitted for the first time, yes, there is hunger in India. No, it is the most poorest country is India.
No, we have nothing to hide.
No, hunger strike
Hamid Khan, we have nothing to really hide.
One of the poorest countries. Let me answer.
Shaban,
please.
Look, we don't live in denial. We don't. Talking about.
No,
Gaurav wants to quickly respond. Then I'll give Patrick Pain also.
Shaban has said.
Gaurav wants to answer.
Hold on. Just hold on. Sir, एक minute.
Hamid Khan, hear out what Gaurav has to say.
हामिद खान साहब एक मिनट. दूध का दूध पानी का पानी करते हैं. शवन, मैंने आपको एक वीडियो व्हाट्सएप करा है. You might like to review it and put it on screen, so our Pakistani friends will see what is happening. I've got this today, and it is from Sindh, Pakistan. मैंने आपको वीडियो व्हाट्सएप करा, आप जरा डालिए इस पे.
अच्छा, मेरे सिर्फ कहने का. Do you know what is the rate of suicide
I'll just put this out. I'll just put that. Yeah, I was showing this only.
Did you know? Shaban, मैं सिर्फ comparison करता हूँ ना, तो I get surprised that how India is, saying that while India is suffering equally. But the only thing is,
we are not talking about.
I'll tell you something.
We're just going to put this out.
We are not talking about India. We are talking about food scarcity in Pakistan. Stick to the topic.
I am just saying. No,
Okay.
I am just saying. If
Ayub
you
Mirza
keep
also wants to come in.
exaggerating, it will not change the fact.
Dr. Mirza wants to come in. Dr. Mirza and Umar Altaf can come in. Okay, 1 minute, Hamid Khan. Let's take this. You were talking about one aspect. I'll show. In fact, Gaurav Arya just sent out that video. I'll put that out in a short while from now. There are multiple such images. Dr. Mirza, just about a few days ago, I think it was on Thursday, when we did an in-depth story as to what is really happening in Gilgit-Baltistan, I had called Hamid Khan that on Sunday evening, also asking him the same question. And that time also I had produced evidence. Dr. Mirza, I think so we'll put that out in a short while from now. What was really happening in Gilgit-Baltistan? I've never seen the protests have taken place in the past. But this kind of open defiance that was actually taking place in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, where in Gilgit-Baltistan, they were openly saying that, look here, we no longer want to be with you. In fact, the visual is already on air. Hamid Khan, why don't you switch it on? We'll go full frame of what's happening, and Dr. Mirza can also respond. Hamid Khan can take a closer look at this particular video. We'll go full frame with this video that has been provided by Major Gaurav Arya.
Let Dr. Mirza respond and I will respond as well.
Well, if I am allowed to speak, I will contribute. But the thing is, in Gilgit-Baltistan, they have cut down.
Yes, Dr. Mirza, go ahead, and then Omar Altaf response.
In Gilgit-Baltistan, they have cut down 8,000 bags of, 800,000 bags of wheat, which has caused grave scarcity of atta. People don't have atta. There are hilly areas, villages in the hill areas, where for months now there is no atta. In Pakistani occupied Jammu Kashmir, they are giving atta according to the 1990 quota. The population has nearly doubled now, but they haven't increased our quota. So there is no atta in Pakistani occupied Jammu Kashmir, and 20 kilo bag is being sold for 1,350 rupees. We have no atta. Now the public discontent from Gilgit-Baltistan has arrived back into Pakistani occupied Jammu Kashmir. Today there were protests in Muzaffarabad, in solidarity protests with Gilgit-Baltistan in Muzaffarabad, in Mirpur, in Rawalakot. Now Gilgit-Baltistan and Pakistani occupied Jammu Kashmir are on the same page. They do not want to live with Pakistan. And I would like to thank your channel, and I would also like to say this to Major Gaurav Arya.
Omar Altaf, why don't you spend more time? Dr. Mirza, you made a point. I want Omar Altaf to take a look at this. Omar Altaf, if you actually do not spend so much of time in sending I Love Pakistan balloons with guns and ammunitions across the line of control, then probably things would have been much better. You could have managed things much better. Let's not forget, I'll give you more details of how fertile land that Major Gaurav Arya was saying. I'll give you more data to it. But I think the problem, what is happening is that you are spending more time in preparing those I Love Pakistan balloons. And then I also see these beautiful socks that you are sending filled with heroin.
No, please let me respond.
Throwing it across the border. You know, why would you spend so much of time? Why spend and waste so much of time? I Love Pakistan balloons. If you really love Pakistan, do something for the people of Pakistan.
Your question. Now let me respond. Please let me respond. There is no denying the fact that Pakistan is going through an economic crunch. And there are food shortages in certain areas. But there are food shortages in India. Your ministers advise people to eat rats when there are food shortages. It's in India that ministers advise the local
population. Dr. Mirza, Dr. Mirza, Omar Altaf.
There is no point in debate. Honestly, there is no point.
I haven't stepped on your tail. Why are you
you will not step because I am telling the truth and you are lying. You are spreading disinformation.
Why are you?
Punjab ke aate ka quota double kiya kal.
No, you shouldn't interrupt. It looks bad. You should learn manners. You should learn some manners.
I don't have manners. I have bad manners.
You want to teach manners to everyone. You want to continue with the moral lectures. I'm asking you a simple question. You get your extra. You have 100 and okay. One second, Omar Altaf. If you want, I'm giving you facts. You want more facts of. You want more. You want a reality check. $130 billion
people to eat rats. When there's
do
a
not
food
try
shortage.
And compare yourself with us.
That's how
we
the
are
state
very
of
clear.
affairs
We are very clear. We are very clear of where we are. Where we are. Gaurav Arya has already told you that we. Okay, one second. When it comes to our country, also, we are making the endeavor to ensure that no one actually sleeps with an empty stomach. And we have the courage to admit that. We have the courage to admit that when Major Gaurav Arya is coming and making that admission that look here, we are also not very happy when we have anyone in this country, not a single person should go with an empty stomach, but we have the courage to admit that. That's our courage. You don't have the courage to make that admission that you are in doldrums, you need a begging bowl, and now you have the gall to actually come and tell us that look here, in India, we are making this kind of a comment.
Why is that so?
Oh, you are back to the same old. Come on. You ask a simple. I'm asking you, where does the money really go? Just about few days back for your flood-ravaged districts, for your flood-ravaged places, you have got billions of dollars. You've just imported wheat from Russia. You've asked for more wheat from Russia. Russia's promised you to give it by 30th of March. I don't understand where does all of this vanish?
Okay, can I say something, Shaman?
Okay, Omar Altaf, let you answer. I've asked you multiple questions. Why don't you answer? And then Gaurav, you can come in. Just I want a quick answer from at least. If Umar Altaf does not have an answer, Barrister Humayun, why don't you take my question? $130 billion debt. Then still you would say that that you still have a problem with India. You focus more on our problems. Your problem is creating more issues.
Well, I think your guests have told the half truths. Pakistan is doing much better in many respects. Yes, we lack in many respects and we need to work over those areas. But the picture you people are making here in your TV, I think it is very much exaggerated and is not representing facts. So I think we should show some respect.
How is it exaggerated? What is it that I've told? I still don't understand this. I still don't understand. Umar and Barrister Humayun. I still don't understand. Pathik can also tell you. Pathik, please tell me what is so exaggerated? Not a single data that I've said. Not a single data. Now, not a single data that I've cited so far is exact. These are most of it I have actually found from from Pakistani news websites. Forget about us. I've taken some of your data from your own website. Pathik Print also wants to come in. Pathik Print, I still don't understand. What is it? Why is it so very difficult for Pakistan to basically make an addition of the current situation they are in? And as Major Gaurav Arya said, make the corrective measures. You are dealing with a corrupt leadership, and that's the reason why you are in the current situation like this.
Shravan, I think both the Major Gaurav Arya have been very modest.
Pathik come in. Gaurav Arya, I'll just come in. I just need to give a quick point to Pathik Pen also. He's been waiting patiently for quite some time.
Shravan, let me give you a comparison because data doesn't lie. In 1990, we had a financial crisis. We worked hard. From that time onwards till today, we have become a $3.5 trillion economy. Our foreign exchange reserve is $550 billion. And that's not on borrowed money. Today, Pakistan's foreign exchange reserve is less than the IT companies' revenue of some of the smaller IT companies of India. Secondly, in the last 3 years, government has given 80 crore plus people free ration, so that even in the peak of the COVID pandemic, not a single person in India died of starvation. And we have given 200 crore plus vaccines free of cost. That's what India has done. Secondly, Pakistan has never been a viable economy. Creating an economic powerhouse was never their identity or the goal. They've always wanted to take advantage of geostrategic location to do all kinds of nefarious activities. That is the reason Bangladesh, which separated from Pakistan, has become a bigger economy than theirs. They have a 40% inflation. That's a reality. Tell me one person in India who has died of starvation during the peak of COVID pandemic. And you're talking about beef, you're talking about cattle. You have to dig first. You're a bunch of...
I wanted to make a point for quite some time. Then I'll take a response from the Pakistan side also. I'll just one quick response. One quick response coming in from Gaurav Arya. Gaurav Arya, 4 countries. Gaurav Arya, 4 countries. Okay, Pathik, 1 minute. I just want Pakistani guests should understand one more reality check. Not just anyone. 4 countries have already issued red travel alert. 1 minute, hold on. Gaurav Arya, 1 minute. Gaurav Arya can come in. 4 countries Gaurav Arya has already have issued red travel alerts, and some happen to be their friends also. Saudi Arabia, United Kingdom, all have basically heightened their travel alerts, and they've already advised the citizens that be careful of the current situation in Pakistan. Their own friends are saying, their so-called friends are saying that. Major Gaurav Arya.
Yes, in fact, the commitments that they got in the Geneva conference, you will realize that China, who's their best friend and all-weather friend, and Shahid se meetha, Himalaya se uncha, Samundar se gehra, Darya se gehra, ye sab, they just gave $100 million. And the US and China gave an equal amount of money. In fact, Pakistanis had the gall and gumption to take money from Azerbaijan also. They took $2 million from Azerbaijan. And their army chief, the first thing that he did, I thought the job of the army chief is to protect the borders of Pakistan. Well, the army chief went on a begging trip and he met Mohammed bin Salman in a tent in Saudi Arabia, and he begged them for money, and Pakistan got some money. So, you see, I'll tell you, ये सब इनको मेरी बात का बुरा लगेगा, मेरी बात कड़वी लगेगी. ये सारे लाहौरी चोर हैं. इन्हीं की वजह से पाकिस्तान के 2 टुकड़े हुए थे. Punjabi Pakistanis are the worst of the lot in this country. सर एक मिनट सर, मैं बता रहा हूँ आपको, इनके भगवान न करे टुकड़े हो, लेकिन एक मिनट सर मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ सर, एक मिनट सर, एक मिनट सर, मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ सर, I don't respect you, so there is not respectful. The Punjabis of Pakistan are responsible for all the ills of Pakistan. All Punjabis of
Why
Pakistan.
you people are so much worried about Pakistan? You have so many problems in your own country.
We are good neighbors.
Are occurring in
our external affairs, while they are, Gaurav Arya, Major Gaurav. I'll tell you, Barrister Humayun, the reason why we are really concerned, we are good neighbors. We are good neighbors, and while 7 decades of statehood, and look at the situation that you are in. But Barrister Humayun, just to answer your question, we are good neighbors. That is the reason why we are really concerned, and we always believe in showing you the mirror. Hopefully that someday you will really wake up from your slumber, but let's hope that someday comes really. And as Major Gaurav Arya says, that we do not wish your country breaks up, but you are doing your level best to ensure that the country breaks up. But thank you very much, Major Gaurav Arya, Pathikrit Prain, Dr. Mirza, Hamid Khan, Omar Altaf, and Barrister Humayun for joining us on the third debate. Arnab Goswami would be joining you back tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching.
$11,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Thousands of nurses have gone on strike at 2 of New York City's major hospitals. The walkout began on Monday after contract negotiations stalled over staffing and salaries nearly 3 years into the coronavirus pandemic. Nearly 3,500 nurses at Montefiore Medical Center in the Bronx and about 3,600 at Mount Sinai Hospital in Manhattan have gone on strike.
So the nurses at Mount Sinai have basically come together to say that we're tired of being exploited, we're tired of our patients being abused, and most of all, we're tired of seeing them not get the care they deserve. We came into nursing to take care of people because we care about them. We come from compassion. And it's very difficult to come into the hospital every single day and know that we're not able to give them the care that they truly deserve. These hospitals are showing that all they care about is profits, but we are no longer treating patients like transactional items. They are people and they deserve respect, and that's why we're out here striking. It's not about money, it's actually about saving lives.
The privately owned hospitals have postponed non-emergency surgeries, diverted ambulance to other medical centers, and assigned administrators with nursing backgrounds to work in wards in order to cope with the walkout.
We're working hard. We worked through the pandemic and we have short staffing. They brought in traveler nurses. It doesn't fill the gap. We still have a bunch of vacancies and we're overworked. So we really need, and it's hard on the patients because we need safe staffing for them. So we're fighting for staffing, reimbursements, health benefits. They're trying to take away some of their benefits, but we need safe staffing. We're tired. We're doing a great job. We're trying to get through a triple pandemic now. It doesn't stop.
Agency report for Republic TV.
The headlines from across the globe this morning. California on high alert as it braces for more turbulent weather. Thunderstorms, snow and damaging winds sweep through. Thousands of nurses stage protest at 2 of New York City's major hospitals over stalled contract negotiations. United Kingdom's first satellite mission takes off from Cornwall, marking first orbital space launch. And another mission seen flying around the Kherson region. Speaking about the latest from the Ukraine war, Arsenal, North America. Ukrainian helicopters participate in combat missions seen flying around the Kherson region. And North America summit kickstarts in Mexico. Biden and Trudeau arrive for ceremony.
Not able to get a control also. So as soon as I saw back, my wife and my kid, they were fallen and nothing was there in my hand. मेरा तो सब कुछ खत्म हो गया. बस आगे ऐसा ना हो. वो take care.
11,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
The headlines from across the globe this morning. California on high alert as it braces for more turbulent weather. Thunderstorms, snow and damaging winds sweep through. Thousands of nurses stage protests at two of New York City's major hospitals over stalled contract negotiations. United Kingdom's first satellite mission takes off from Cornwall, marking first orbital space launch. And another mission seen flying around the Kherson region. Speaking about the latest from the Ukraine war, North America. Ukrainian helicopters participate in combat missions seen flying around the Kherson region. And North America summit kickstarts in Mexico. Biden and Trudeau arrive for ceremony. Arsenal defeats Oxford 3-0 to set up Man City showdown in FA Cup 4th round. Statements of two crew members of the Air India flight on which a man allegedly urinated on an elderly woman co-passenger to be recorded today. The two crew members were to join the probe yesterday but could not as they were outside Delhi. An incoming chartered flight from Moscow to Goa diverted to Gujarat's Jamnagar after Goa air traffic controller received a bomb threat. Second round of luggage checking went on earlier and nothing suspicious has been found yet. Authorities will be letting the flight leave for Goa by 10 a.m. Assam government holding yet another massive eviction drive in Lakhimpur in Assam. This time the eviction drive is being held at Pabho Reserve Forest in Lakhimpur, which has been under encroachment since long. Massive fire reported from Raja Utsav Community Hall in Patna. Several fire tenders along with police officials are at the spot to deal with the situation. "600 homes in the sinking town of Joshimath in Uttarakhand evacuated after a survey by satellites. Meanwhile, the matter is to be mentioned before the Chief Justice in the Supreme Court today. A team has been set up by the centre and will be going to Joshimath to survey the area. In the Shraddha Walkar murder case, accused Aftab Poonawalla to be produced in Saket Court today. In the last hearing, the judge had asked the accused Aftab Poonawalla to be produced in a court physically rather than by video conferencing. In the Delhi hit-and-run case, accused
From the Delhi studios of Republic TV, it's time for the debate.
A very good evening. I'm Deepthi Sachdeva, filling in for Roundup. You're watching the debate. Ladies and gentlemen, the netas of the country have put a price on your and my lives. We can die with potholes. We can also be drinking dirty, poisoned water that comes in from a lot of encroached lakes, or a killer pillar, like has been reported earlier today, where a young mother and a 2.5-year-old baby Vihan have lost their lives. And what are netas doing? Netas are busy talking about Tipu Sultan, about hijab, about love jihad, about conversion. But when it comes to civic issues, remember Bangalore reports the maximum number of deaths because of road accidents. But who's worried? They'll throw money at you the next time you, your family member, or any loved one meets with any accident. Is that price on our lives allowed? Will we not speak up? That's going to be a big Republic campaign, also the first debate that we are bringing to you. And the questions we ask: how many lives have to be lost? How many probes later? Do citizens' lives actually not matter? That's going to be our first big debate, followed by the other one. This is an ongoing face-off, the next chapter between the BJP and the TMC. This time, the face-off is about the Ganga Aarti. But who really is playing politics? We deep dive into that. And yes, we are not forgetting what's happening also in Pakistan. It is all chaos, C-H-A-O-S, total chaos in Pakistan. What really is happening? Before we get those debates to you, let's kick-start the show with the headlines on Top of 9. A young mother and a 2.5-year-old child are crushed to death by metro pillar in Bengaluru.
Will you resign, sir? This is something which is being echoed now.
If you feel that my resignation is going to bring back that life, definitely I would like to resign.
People are questioning.
But when asked hard questions, authorities are brazening this out and passing the buck. Is there absolutely no value for human lives?
सरकार से क्या भी नहीं होना, पहले आदमी को बचाने होना. आदमी मर रहा, इनका पाँव में इतना लंबा पिलर डालने के लिए इनको कौन परमिशन दिया?
There is anger across the country over the Bengaluru killer Apathy. India says citizens' lives matter and heads need to roll.
इस तरीके का आचरण पश्चिम बंगाल में हो रहा है, ये शर्मसार कर देने वाली आचरण है. सरकार पूरी तरीके से बायस्ड हो चुकी है.
In more news, the BJP is denied permission for Ganga Aarti in Kolkata. Major face-off as the BJP takes to streets to protest. Go First is forced to apologize after leaving more than 50 passengers stranded at the Bengaluru airport. Food riots, complete bankruptcy, situation in Pakistan spirals out of control. That's our debate at 10:30. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a young family. It's a young family with really young twins, baby twins, just 2.5 years old. Tejaswini, along with her husband, and these two twins are just happily cruising through one of the busy streets in Bengaluru. Then just in a flash of a second, their lives completely change. Their lives are devastated. Tejaswini and Vihan, all of 2.5 years old, is crushed by apathy. They are no more today. Just one of the twin remains today. That is the family picture. And all this after a metro pillar actually comes crashing down. Now, for the last few days, Republic has been speaking to a lot of eyewitnesses who say that they had seen a very precarious looking pillar that was shaking. They warned authorities. They said it could come down any moment. But no one cared. And because no one cared, what is the result? Tejaswini and Vihan are no more. And now what are netas doing? No accountability, no responsibility. Instead, they are throwing money at this family. Just for a moment think, if you and I do not raise our voice today, if we do not tell the ruling BJP government in the state of Karnataka to wake up, it can be absolutely anyone tomorrow. Let's bring out the entire story, and then we are debating whether your and my lives even matter.
A 25-year-old Tejaswi and her 2-year-old son, Vihan, crushed to death by a metro pillar. Why? Because a family, a father, a mother, and 2 little twin toddlers decided to ride a bike in Bengaluru's Nagwara area in Karnataka.
Fortunately, both the remaining 2 survivors are safe. Husband Lohit and baby Vismita, both are safe. Right now, Lohit, who is husband of the victim, has already been drafting the complaint. So there is no need for us to register suo motu complaint because the complaint is being drafted.
It's a tale of complete and total apathy.
एग्जैक्टली सुबह में 10 बजे 5 मिनट पर एग्जैक्टली एक 2-व्हीलर आ रहा था। 5 दिन पहले से इनको बोल रहे थे हम पिलर गिर रहा है बोल के, उसका कोई रेस्पॉन्स नहीं था। 2-व्हीलर में एक फैमिली आ रहे थे, एक वाइफ, हस्बैंड और एक बेबी के साथ आ रहे थे। वो बच्चा और वाइफ इधर पिलर गिरने की वजह से ऑन स्पॉट डेथ हो गए। इधर का माहौल देखने के बाद ये गवर्नमेंट को सिर्फ प्रॉफिट चाहिए और उनके फैमिलीज का सेफ्टी देखते हैं। पब्लिक का जान गया भी तो कोई फर्क नहीं गिरता है, पब्लिक का वैल्यू ही नहीं है।
The family is distraught.
I was not able to get a control also. So as soon as I saw back my wife and my kid, they were fallen and nothing was there in my hand. मेरा तो सब कुछ खत्म हो गया, बस आगे ऐसा ना हो, वो टेक केयर करे।
वो छोटी सी जान थी, वो हमारा दिल का कलेजा था, उसको उसकी मौत हो गई। इस मौत को कौन भरपाई कर सकता है? क्या सरकार? कौन भर सकता है? कोई बेईमान भी नहीं कर सकता। लेकिन हम इसको कानून तरीके से इसका निपटाएंगे हम।
But the chief minister thinks it's a matter you can pay a compensation and close.
ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಸುದ್ದಿ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಅದು ವಿಚಾರಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಯಾಕೆ ಬಿತ್ತು ಏನು ಬಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಆ ಕಾರಣನೂ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊತೀವಿ ಮತ್ತು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ। ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾದಂಥ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮತ್ತೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ। ನನಗಿನ್ನೂ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ।
The managing director of Bangalore Metro Rail Corporation Limited doesn't see a reason for the anger in citizens.
Sir, a 2-year-old has died. Will you take up moral responsibility? Will you resign from your post? This is also something which is being heard now. Will you resign, sir? This is something which is being echoed now.
If you feel that my resignation is going to bring back that life, definitely I would like to resign.
The people are questioning here, sir. It's the people who are going on.
No, definitely. If any this kind of incident happens, everybody has to be questioned.
Right.
Then only whatever is the further action has to be taken, it will be taken.
Fact is, for politicians, these are irrelevant issues.
ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ನೀವು ರಸ್ತೆ ಮೋರಿ ಚರಂಡಿ ಸಣ್ಣ ವಿಷಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಡಿ. ವೇದವ್ಯಾಸ ಹೋದಾಗ ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನಳಿನ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ನಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ, ನಳಿನ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ನಕ್ಕು ನಿಮಗೇನು ಬಂಗಾರ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಬದುಕಿನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಲವ್ ಜಿಹಾದಿಯನ್ನು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಜನತಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಬೇಕು. ಲವ್ ಜಿಹಾದಿಯನ್ನು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಜನತಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ.
But the nation will not let this go. Elections or not, citizens matter. Let's debate.
And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, netas already have a price tag to your and my lives. 20 lakhs. 20 lakhs is the compensation that has been offered to the family that today is devastated. Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP, Tanveer Ahmed is the national spokesperson for the JDS, Amrit Shah is the leader of the Congress party, along with Brinda Adige, Vivek Dikshit, Indrajit Lankesh and R.K. Mishra. I say good evening to all of you. We are obviously not talking at a very happy occasion, but who's surprised? No one's surprised with the apathy, Brinda. Absolutely no one is surprised with the fact that no one today is accountable, R.K. Mishra, Indrajit. But I still want to take our first question and see if Sanju Verma of the BJP is able to tell us 20 lakhs. Sanju Verma, that is the value today of Tejaswini and baby Vihan's life.
Deepthi, as you rightly said at the outset, it's a solemn occasion, and I think no words can be enough in terms of, the condolences that I, along with many others, wish to pay to Tejaswini's family. And I am not going to shove things under the carpet. Of course, I am the national spokesperson of the BJP, but I am a righteous citizen as well. And I have been watching your channel throughout the day, and I think some heads need to roll. BJP has always stood for transparency and accountability without trying to obfuscate facts. And I'm sure that the Chief Minister, Mr. Basavaraj Bommai, who has ordered an inquiry, things won't just stop at an inquiry. I'm sure, the BMRCL, which is the body which has been monitoring the operational work with respect to the Namma Metro, they will certainly ask questions of Nagarjuna Construction, because I heard on your channel as well, the head of BMRCL, Mr. Anjum Parvez, saying that Nagarjuna Construction has been sent a show cause notice as to whether there was a manual error or a technical error, because don't forget there are 4 levels of quality checks: safety audit, a financial audit, a technical audit, so where exactly was the lapse?
Sanju Verma, I hate to come in here because see, this is not a forum where you can sit and make a speech. I'm not concerned about what should have happened, but the point is it clearly hasn't happened. This is the reason why today we have lost Tejaswini, we've lost baby Vihan. Now Basavaraj Bommai has no time to meet with the family. He clearly has no time to, even go and speak to them. Has he spoken to the family in question, Sanju? Or he thinks it's not required? He's tweeted about a lot of other things. In fact, I was looking at his Twitter timeline. He's tweeted on the National Youth Festival. Has he tweeted or said anything about civic apathy, Brinda? Is that going to be allowed? Is that going to be allowed?
One moment. When reporters were asking him about it,
compensation, he says we've given a compensation, Sanju Verma.
Okay, before Brinda comes in.
So there will be probes, there will be inquiries, Sanju Verma. How many more people need to die, Sanju? How many probes need to happen before the BJP government in the state of Karnataka wakes up?
Deepthi, you've asked me a question. This is a very sensitive issue, and you are right. We don't want to politicize it. And I'm not saying don't politicize it simply because the BJP is in the dock. I would have said that otherwise as well. I think citizens need to demand accountability, and the government of the day needs to deliver. And I'm sure that Basavaraj Bommai is not going to stop at an inquiry. As I said, FIR under sections 337, 338 and 304 of the IPC have also been registered against the 2 engineers on site. So clearly, prima facie, there seems to be a dereliction.
Have you named them in the FIR? Has anyone been named in the FIR, Sanju Verma? And do you know of this gentleman? Before I open up the debate, and I like Brinda to come in here. Before that, Sanju, have you heard of a gentleman called Nalin Katil?
Of course,
Have you heard of him?
Of course, yes.
Do you know what he said?
BJP president.
He said, forget potholes. He said, forget about drainage age. Forget about development issues. Only and only focus on love jihad.
Deepthi, now if you've asked a pertinent question,